Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. All right, everyone, we are live here at Christ Center Ironworks. Welcome back to the workshop. So glad to have you all here in our cold little palace up here in the north. Huh, Jessica?
That's right.
Yeah.
All that flux on the ground. Look at that.
Yeah, all that flux on the ground that you can see behind me. As you can tell, I still haven't got the barn sealed up. I'm a glutton for punishment, so hopefully we're coming through loud and clear and not too super choppy. We have some pretty high winds right now, knocking around the wires and trees around our local area, so we may have some cut-ins and cut-outs tonight, or buffering about. So if we do have to cut out at some point, be sure to the stream will continue on all the way up until at least 7 p.m. this evening. So be sure to jump back on the channel and look for the live. So if we just
what do you say too, within the last 10 minutes when we're getting ready to shut down the stream, we'll recap the winners. And that way, if anybody wasn't quite sure, they can come back and watch the last 10 minutes and we'll re-announce the winners then at that point.
Yeah, exactly. So when we end the stream, just in case, we will also, announce all the winners again, because this is, Jessica jumped ahead of me there a little bit. This is the year of the Forge after all, and this is the giveaway live stream this month, where we're going to be giving away yet another gas forge from Mr. Volcano. If you roll that sweet, beautiful bean footage there, Jessica. Hopefully it's up there now.
Yep.
Look good? So this will be our second forge of the year that we're giving away. If you don't win one this evening, there'll be 10 more chances this year, as we are giving one of these away a month. Now, to answer some controversy, some conspiracy theory, no, Roy has not bought all of the Mr. Volcano gas forges on Amazon. They have, however, we reached out to Mr. Volcano before we started offering them up as our giveaway item, and they said that they would hold 12 of them back for us this year to be able to be given away. So if you can't find them on Amazon, at least you can find them in our giveaway live stream. So thank you, Mr. Volcano, for holding those back for us. Do greatly appreciate that. That makes us a lot easier to do versus like, oh crud, now what? We have to go look for another gas forge company to work with in order to do so. So that's pretty good. So on top of that, got to get through the news real quick this evening. I will say what the project is here. The project, we're going to continue on my chandelier brackets that are for hanging up the chandeliers in the shop that I made, I don't know, several months back. I don't know if they can see this on camera 2. Go to camera 2, Jess.
Yep, there we go.
So we've got this portion of it, which is the hanging portion that the chandelier will hang from, and then we are making up the back plates tonight, and then that way I can get those finished up and get them hung in the shop, and maybe even before the next live stream, you guys will actually see these hung up in the backdrop of the shop. So we go back to the main cam, Jess.
All right.
So that's the project for this evening that we're going to be working on. The main focus of this stream is to have fun, to give away a lot of cool stuff, and give away a forge by the end of it, huh, Jess?
That's right.
Or somewhere in the middle of it, end of it.
Yep.
Depending on how the evening goes.
Got to stay tuned.
Yeah.
So you know.
So who do we all have here,
Yes.
Jess? And then I will get into further news, and then we will get to forging on our first piece here this evening.
Let's see, we have Todd Good, Scott Linghorst, Charming Hollow Forge.
Hello, Hans,
G. Funkera.
Todd. Good to see y'all.
Stephen Adams. We don't know exactly when they'll be back in stock. We've been in touch though, and they had to reorganize their workshop, so that's why they have them out for, they have them out for a little bit, but they're reorganizing, and they will be back in stock soon. So I just keep checking, a couple times a week, and they'll be up there soon.
Yep. No. We had some super chats, I think, correct?
Yes, we did. Stephen Watkins, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says,
thank you, Stephen.
Minion Smithy is in the house.
Minion Smithy in the house.
Friday forging time. Woot woot.
Woot woot. Right on. Oh. All right. So let me get into some other news. Something I'm pretty excited about. Something that's been in the works for a little while, anyhow, about a year. About a year, and so I'm pretty excited. So Many of you know that we have a bunch of CNC plasma blanks. For those of you who don't, we do. Now you know. And you can find those blanks over at blacksmithingblanks.com. It's just a page that's on all of our regular pages of blacksmithpdfs.com or christcenterironworks.com. They're all in that same area. It's just a particular page of that is our blacksmithingblanks.com page. And through that page, we sell all sorts of smithing blanks. We've really ramped it up this year of what we're offering, all sorts of different hooks, all sorts of new ornaments and designs and tooling. And that's the one that I'm going to be talking about tonight. Tonight, in addition to the gas forge that we're going to be giving away, I'm also going to be giving away a guillotine tool kit that we sell over there at our website, blacksmithingblanks.com. And we've got about 13, I think, still available as of right now that are ready to ship come Monday morning, bright and early. We will have those out the door and shipped, hopefully, to one of you lucky people out there who's fortunate enough to go get it. So we decided to start offering these blanks. These were originally designed by Uncle Buck's Forge, or Stephen Cox, if anybody knows him. He used to do a lot of guillotine tools and all sorts of plasma cut stuff, and he got out of it and he ended up giving his designs to us so we could exclusively make those designs in his stead. So we're going to start working through some of those tooling designs and his patterns and trying to offer those on our website. And I'm finally starting to get the bed dialed in enough that I feel that I can do a good run and be able to cut stuff and offer a very similar quality product to what Uncle Buck's done before. So let's go to camera number 2, Jess.
Yeah, all right.
So the kit we're selling is $75. If you're a channel member, you can get a nice discount off of that. And many of them got the sneak peek already and jumped over there and got a few of these kits, if you will. But basically, it's going to come to you in a flat pack like this, and it is a C-frame guillotine tool is what this ends up making. It comes with a die blank that you can then cut and make your own die from, and you can fabricate up your own guillotine tool. Pretty cheap for what it is. I did just film a tutorial on this, so that should be coming out here soon on actually showing how to weld one of these together for those who need that additional help. The tools, the die stock is just mild steel as of right now. Eventually, when steel prices get back to being a bit more reasonable, my plan is to offer these in mild steel option or 4140 option. But right now, we're just going to stick with the mild steel because it is a lot cheaper. So if you want to find out more information about this, you can go over to the website and check it out. Like I said, we have 13 available right now, which that's probably going down by the moment. So if you want to get in on one of those, be one of the first to own it, then get over there. So they will be shipped to you in a kit that you can weld together yourself, just like so is how you'll receive it in a nice flat rate box. So yeah, that's the main exciting news. We're going to be offering some tools. I also have an arch frame design. I should probably stay there at camera number 2, Jess, real quick. I'll be offering the Uncle Buck's Forge arch frame type guillotine tool as well. I'll be offering one of these. Of course, this is one of his originals, and I've got it set up to work with the fly press. But we will be offering one of these as well once I get them cut. But I still got a few little tweaks I got to do to the design to offer those. But that's all coming soon. Super excited about that, to be able to offer those back to the community since Uncle Buck retired from making them. Oh, has left a hole in our hearts. All blacksmiths' hearts. Ain't that right, Jess?
That's right. He drops in, he'll be happy to know we're thinking of him fondly.
Yeah. What's everybody saying this evening, Jess?
Let's see. Smith Cass says, looks good.
Cool.
Chris Rowley says hello.
Hello.
JDMC Tweg says that's a nice guillotine, good for anyone that doesn't have one.
Yeah.
Let's see, a couple of super chats here. Frank Struck sent a $5 super chat.
Thank you, Frank.
And Thomas Goodmoot sent a $5 super chat with a joke. says, heard a funny one today. You ever look at someone and think to yourself, if their brain explodes, their hat wouldn't fly off. Just a funny one to share.
Well, thank you, Thomas Goodymoot. Good sir, for the $5 super chat. And the joke. Wonder who he's referencing. Wonder who. What else?
See, JD says, what's the temperature in the shop?
It's about 14 degrees.
Possum Sausage, been wanting to build a C-frame guillotine tool for a while now.
Well, Possum Sausage, they are, not a better time than now. The C-frame guillotine tools, they're nice. I've been using one that was designed by Sofa years and years ago. It's always lived in my thing, and they're super handy when you need them. For making neck downs and shoulders and tendons and all sorts of stuff like that. They're a super handy tool, especially when working with pipe and other things. Again, they're just one of those things that when you need them, and no other kind of tool will do. Unless you have a shop helper and the right top and bottom tools to do the same thing. But not a lot of people have that luxury now. So a guillotine tool takes the place.
Robert Whitney, hello. GWI Railroad, Wayne.
Hello.
Good evening to you. G Funkera says, how easy is it to set up that guillotine?
How easy is it to set up the guillotine? It took me, with recording time and instruction, it took me about 30 to 45 minutes to actually put the whole guillotine tool together. In my shop, using my tools, if I wasn't instructing, it would take me about 15-20 minutes. But that's, again, that's assuming that you have everything kind of set up. I've got a welding table. I've got all my clamps and everything kind of right at the ready. So it's fairly easy to do when you're doing that. So I wouldn't say anything more than, say, 45 minutes to an hour for a standard project. And you'll be up in smithing. Probably the thing that'll take the longest amount of time for you, to be honest with you, is deciding what type of die you want to make, top and bottom die, and then grinding just grinding that to shape and getting that right. That'll probably be the longest amount of time that it takes. The rest of the fabrication is pretty straightforward. You're just welding 2, 4, 6, 7 pieces. You're just welding up 7 pieces together. So pretty quick. Keeps it simple and quick. Huh?
Yep.
All right.
Mr. Coffee says, evening folks, and did he miss the giveaway?
Hello, Mr. Coffee. Good to see you here, brother. No, you haven't missed the giveaway. We are still talking about such things. So. And
Hans says that John's recovering from open heart surgery that happened Tuesday and may be coming home tomorrow, is doing well. So,
well,
no,
I'm looking forward to you getting home, John. And I'm glad you could join with us. Well, you're all bummed up there, brother. Get well soon, and we will be praying for you and yours. All right, we ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, camera number 2, Jess.
All right.
So this is going to be the bracket in a nutshell. The main thing I would like to teach tonight is the method that I like using for creating holes, slot punched holes, very rapidly in rectangular bar stock, where you need to maintain the same dimension on the outside of the bar stock without any swelling like you would normally get with a slit and drifted hole. So that method is pretty simple to follow. You decide how long that slot needs to be. You come in half the distance of a drill bit, of whatever the width of the drill bit's going to be. In this case, 3/8 of an inch, or roughly 10 mil. And so you come in half that distance of 3/8 of an inch, or say 5 mil in and 5 mil in, and then you drill your holes and then go ahead and cut out the webbing in between. And then that leaves you a slot in a piece of bar stock, whether it be really thick or thin like what you've got here, and a very clean result. So I've already got one done that I'll show you. You can stay at camera number 2, Jess. So that's what it ends up producing. I already put my touch mark on this one, but you can see what it produces. It's a very quick way of creating a slot and a hole, like if you had for a door plate, like an escutcheon plate for thumb latches, for like a Suffolk latch or things like that. This would be the method to use to be able to actually punch this hole without getting a bunch of distortion to the outside edges. Not always do you want to have that swell in your work, depending on what type of work you're doing. So we're going to go ahead and get that good and hot, and we'll bring it out, and that'll be the first step. I'm going to do that on the next 3 pieces and touch mark them and have them ready to go, and then we'll move on to what we're going to do for the finials themselves.
Jeff Parkett sends a $10 super chat. Says, thanks for all the help and ideas that you guys have given me.
Thank you so much for the support with the $10 super chat to support that shipping and the purchasing of giveaway items. Greatly appreciate that. Oh, I'm glad our channel could help you.
Sheila says, I have a homemade guillotine. It just isn't all that good.
Well, that's all right as long as it functions, right? That's kind of the main thing there. It can look poor, but as long as it functions correctly and does the intended purpose. Now, if it doesn't hold the dies together and you're getting wonky results, then you need to find ways of tightening it up to make it work better. You want a tool that's going to make your life easier. Essentially, that's what tools are supposed to do, is make your life easier versus making it harder or more complex. And sometimes it's worth just taking that extra 10 minutes of fussing about with something to get it right the first time when you make it, than to wait extra time. To wait, say, I'll just throw that together and it'll be all right. I've done that on many occasions. In fact, just remarking the other day when I had Thomas over here, the little Mr. Volcano forge, I totally did what the manufacturer said not to do, which is I rushed the curing and drying process of the actual refractory, and so it's already kind of chipping off the blanket. They did send there is some extra patch repair stuff that came in with the original kit to put it together with, but again, in the process of trying to get the video done, I didn't have 48 hours to wait. I needed to get the video shot and move on to other projects, and so I went ahead and kind of hurried up the process, and now I pay for it later. So now I've got to take and go ahead and put more refractory, coat it back up again, and do it proper this time, and give it the proper amount of cure time, so on and so forth. So sometimes sometimes that little bit of extra rush in your step does not actually help or pay. All right, let's go to the anvil cam, Jess, if we're already there. We good?
Yep, good.
Okay. So there we are. I'm going to lay it down here on the anvil. I'm using a one-sided butcher tool, and I'm going to cut to the edge of these holes. Roll it right on around. That's also very true about blacksmithing as well, when you're forging stuff. Sometimes you can be in such a rush to get things done in a heat that it actually works to your detriment, not to your benefit. So, something to keep in mind. Sometimes it's best to just take that extra heat if you need it to get the work done. There we go. Can they see that okay?
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's out too far. Let me zoom this in a little bit.
Oh, yeah. One's a zoom one.
Is that better?
Uh-huh. I bet you like that.
How's that?
Good.
Better?
Uh-huh.
Much better? Good.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So you can see it don't take long to work that piece, and we haven't got that much distortion yet. We do have, grab Mr. Thing here, we do have a little bit of distortion on this piece, but not a ton. So now when I come out and I finish severing that plug out, I can just quickly knock that distortion back and we're good to go. That slot's been made.
Russell Wigan says that looks too easy. I think you've done it a time or 3.
Probably 3 or 4. A time or 4 or 10 or 8 or 17. Oh, one problem with this is I've used this one tool, probably one too many, left it in the meat of material. I was cutting some 5/8 inch thick bar with it, and it's kind of over tempered the edge, so I need to kind of draw it back a little bit. That kind of rolled that over, so I'm going to end up having to go get that ground off real quick before this comes up to heat next. So
okay.
I'm going to go do that real quick. Keep the people entertained, Jess.
Keep
I will be right back.
Entertained. All right, we'll read off some of you guys' comments. Squatch Knife and Forge says that is a lot of my tools, ugly but functional. Functional is the important part. Let's see here. Dave Horton. Yeah, it is cold here. I think it's a little above 10 degrees, northern Michigan. It's 35 degrees there in Indiana. That would be pretty nice temperatures. Did get up to 40 degrees the other day, and that was nice. Steve Starlin said we just had a chat disconnect. You guys will have to let me know if everything's going smoothly now. Debaka Maker, welcome. Spider, good to have ya. Jeff Barquette says you'll be getting one of the Guillotine tools ASAP. Yeah, definitely. Right now I think we have about 13 of them still posted for sale. Dana, good to see ya. Thank you for the stickers. They made them here. I forget if I emailed you or not that they arrived, but they did. See, Justin Ray, yes, extreme close-up. I recently bought a new camera lens for some photography on that camera. So before we were just using a 50mm prime, so it didn't zoom. So the lens I have now has a bigger range than his regular Forge camera does. So thought he might like using that.
All right, back to the main cam, back to the anvil cam, babe.
All right.
Try to keep that cooled off somewhat.
Stephen White asked, why not use a Dremel to cut between the holes?
That's the long way around. That's why. It is a lot easier to... You can, but since we got to forge this anyhow, there's no point in doing so. It just takes a long time if you're trying to Dremel cut something like that. This is a much more expedient process given the right kind of tooling. There we go, we dress that out. Plus, I'm a blacksmith, not a Dremel specialist.
Mr. Coffee, me and the kids are doing well. Staying warm in the house mostly this time of year. Mad Mr. Fox, I do have a poem printed off. I'll read on towards the end.
There we have it. See? There's our slot. So now I'll go ahead and put my touch mark in it in the next heat. And move on to the next one. This is a good chance for you all to witness production forging, or forging progression. One step done across multiple pieces, again and again and again. Oh. What else are we doing here?
Brittinghammer Forge. No, I haven't done any enameling here lately. Around Christmas time, I bought in the supplies because I want to try making an enameled clock. But I haven't come out to the shop lately for that. Thomas says, Roy, you left us monkeys.
I left a what?
Roy left me to them monkeys.
To them monkeys, huh?
Yeah.
I have no clue what
chat.
that means.
The chat
Oh,
is
to the
monkeys.
chat. Okay.
Yes. Well, Nolf, welcome to the Bellows Boy.
Hello, hello. Good to have you. So I don't know if I expressed this good enough. For those of you that are channel members that are joining us this evening, if you do end up buying any of the tooling I have for sale over at the website, or blanks or anything, be sure to use your coupon codes because those apply. So you know, anywhere from 10% I think is our lowest tier at the Bellows Boy, all the way up to Golden Master Smith, you get 40% off things. So, and that is your entire order, not just one item. So, you know, if you go over there and you buy all the blanks we got, it's 40% off your entire order, which is one heck of a deal. Same thing, Bellows Boy, 10% off your entire order. Or what's the next tier up from that, Jessica?
Blacksmith Shop Help.
Blacksmith Shop Help.
15%.
Again, that's 15% off. And then Epic Blacksmith the Fire.
Oh, you skipped the Big Burly Striker.
Oh, Big Burly Striker, right? That's 20%.
Yep.
Then Epic Blacksmith the Fire is what, 25?
30%.
It's 30%. There you go. So, see, I need to have that better rehearsed, huh?
Yeah. Cheat sheet.
Or you've got the cheat sheet loaded up there, don't you?
I do.
So, not a bad deal if I don't say so myself. Pretty sweet deal. All right, there you go. Put my touch mark in it. Gonna brush this thing down real good. Give it that little bit of a sheen. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. There's a little bit of a rag there I don't like that I'm going to end up cleaning off here. There we go. Got rid of it. Can they see that all right?
Uh-huh.
And now we just wash, rinse, repeat. Set that off to the side and do the next one.
Cheap Shot Mike says, is there any extra safety precautions I need to take to forge copper?
Yes, you need to wear a respirator. When you grind or polish on copper, you need to wear a suit to keep the copper from interacting with your skin. And it will interact with you, and you will develop copper toxicity in your blood system like I have, and it will make you allergic to copper for life. So you do not want to get heavy metals in your lungs. It's bad for you. It does seep into your bloodstream, and it does cause other problems. So now if because I've done so much copper work, and I did a lot of it before I wore any respiration or wore any PPE while I was working with it, I've already developed a copper toxicity to where now I can't work on it without being completely suited up. You know, face mask, respirator, white suit, zipped all the way up, you know, the whole thing. I got to cover all my exposed skin because wherever it touches, I get big hives and blotches on my skin now. So, not to mention my throat swells up and eyes itch and burn and, yep, all sorts of other problems. So, no fun. So, wear proper PPE. If you're going to be grinding and polishing on copper, you need to wear bare bones minimum all the safety gear that you can get. If you're going to just be forging it, just a good respirator would be fine. And long sleeves. That would be fine for just regular forging of it. Good question.
Jeffrey Redinger says, where on the website can the tools that are for sale be found? I put a link it says Guillotine tool, and then it has a link there. That one just lands on the section of the tooling for our blacksmithing blanks, which right now basically is a shovel blank, the 120 degree tool, and the guillotine tool. But like Roy mentioned, we will be having some new designs coming up soon.
Yep, so there is a tooling section that you can go to, like Jessica is talking about there, that's on the website. You'll see like flower blanks, bowl blanks, hook blanks, stuff like that. kitchenware blanks, like for skillets and the like, spatulas and ladles and whatnot. You'll see all that on there. And when you just keep scrolling on that list until you get to the tooling section. Click on that and scroll to the tool you want. Pretty simple, huh, Jess?
Uh-huh. Question from Charming Hollow.
Question?
Yep.
Go ahead.
He
Shoot.
says, Roy Rant question mark. What happens when you injure yourself at your real job and have orders to fill if you're not a full-time smith?
Good question. So I think it can go either way, right? Like real job or not. If you have orders to fill at your place of employment or orders to fill for yourself as a blacksmith or a hobbyist or whatever, it's the same thing across the board. Sweepingly, it sucks. Depending on your type of injury, will depend on how much work you can get done. In that case, a lot of times, like when I'm injured or I'm bummed up, I try to work on clerical things that have been haunting me forever, like getting back with emails that I'm horrible with, or doing finances, right? Just like, you know, working on YouTubes or the digital side of things. So getting and talking with people on Instagram and YouTube and all that other good stuff like social media. That sort of stuff is what I do when I'm really bummed up and I can't physically work. Or I'll go out in the shop and I will work and piddle on things that I can do to within my limitations. If you're bummed up to a point to where you really can't work on anything, and I do mean anything, and you've got deadlines, then it's your job to communicate to your customers. Don't get upset. Don't try to quit the jobs. Just let them know that you've been injured and it's going to take you some time to recovery. Most people are really understanding of that, because they are buying from an artist. They're not just buying from some faceless manufacturer. So they understand already that you are a single guy crew, right? And you're just not pumping out 1,000 of whatever you're making. And most people are pretty sympathetic. So we can go back to secondary cam.
Yep.
Okay. So that would be my answer on that. Either way, it's a difficult situation, especially because now you're out the work at your regular day job, that's your bread and butter, and then to be out the work at home, that's, that's just your fun time money, right? Mm-hmm. That's it's the pits either way. But it all kind of comes back down to transparency with your customer and just letting them know what you've got going on in your life. There's a point where you can't be a country song, right? And saying, oh, woe is me, my wife left me, my truck broke down, my dog died, right? Stuff like that. There's a certain amount of accountability you just have to accept onto your own, and that no one's really going to care. They bought something from you and they expect to get that product eventually. So, but generally people, it's been in my experience, are very understanding. That brings into a different, broader topic too. Let's say you're out there, you got a good paying job, everything's going well for you, and boom, you get in an accident, and now you're permanently disabled, and you can't go back to your vocation that you once were, like a power lifter, or, maybe you're a roofer and you fell and now you can't go back to that vocation anymore. And you're sitting at home saying, what am I going to do, right? You can work on your smalls. You can work on your small things, right? Hooks and such, and bottle openers, and meat skewers, and towel bars, and right, stuff like that. You can work on those small things and slowly build up an income and a living off of that. And I know this oh too well because that's what originally set me down the path of doing this. I had already been doing it kinda semi-professionally, but on the back end as a self-supporting hobby. And then I got in a car wreck And that fully pushed me off into doing blacksmithing full time for a living because I had no choice, because I bummed up my back and I couldn't do furnace work anymore. So it's all about staying positive and moving forward, looking for areas where you can move forward. Are we at camera number 2?
Yep. Han says he popped a pectoral muscle last Wednesday. Already told them that he was laid up.
Oh man, that is tough. That's, in one of those type things, again, listen to your doctor on it, but when it comes down to pectoral muscle, man, that's a rough go. You don't realize how much you use those muscles until they're not working or functioning anymore. But there is ways around it. There we go. Touch mark. Like I said, right now might be a good time if you're working on your business at home, right? And you can't work at your regular occupation. Right now might be a good time for you to focus on your social media campaigning. So, show off the work that you've done in the past, right? Make contacts, talk to galleries, right? For when you do get back into work, working from home again, to where you can get back to smithing, you have used your time productively and, have spent that time reaching out to folks versus sitting on the couch, and thumbing through Facebook and getting in political arguments, right? Or whatever. It's more productive of your time to go around and meet with galleries and meet with local areas. And maybe there's a local school that you could say, hey, I'm willing to teach blacksmithing classes at some point, or, things like that. You can always make a way a little bit forward. Sometimes you just have to think outside the box. But I'll be praying for you, Hans. I'm so sorry to hear that you're all bummed up, brother.
Mad Mr. Fox says, I'm just getting over pulling my back out 2 weeks ago shoveling.
Yeah. Those injuries, they make you reassess things in life, right? We all like to believe that we're just going to be healthy forever. And then we have those moments that knock us on our butts. And we have to reassess some things, in life. I have had more than my fair share of those moments. So I definitely feel for you.
Scott Linghorst says, I'm pretty sure I would throw my back out if I ever lifted that anvil. Hence we have a car, what do they call that?
Oh, engine hoist.
Engine hoist, yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Well, I got a little secret. If anybody ever tries to take and lift Olga out of here, they're going to bust more than just a back muscle when they try. So, more power to them.
Tim O'Connor, thank you for the $5 super chat towards shipping cost.
Thank you, Tim. Greatly appreciate that. What else we got, Jess? Are they talkative tonight or no?
Yeah. Coffee Studio says, I'm not allowed to do anything except paint for the next 6 months.
Well, we won't tell if you won't tell, John. We won't tell if you won't tell.
G. Taylor says, Roy and Jess, never stated enough. Thank you for everything you guys do for the craft and the community.
Very welcome. We wouldn't really be here without you fine folks. So, it's literally, what do they call it? Hand and mouth kind of relationship.
Provision or, yeah, what's the saying? I'm sure they'll say it.
What's the saying there, ladies and gents? Tell us that.
I've heard that one in a little while.
Basically, it's reciprocal, right? We get in whatever you guys give in donations, and channel members give in donations per month. Like, all that goes into a kitty, and we've just gotten to a point now where we are about $100 ahead every single month, that we can then save that back for the next month's giveaway stream. And then that builds all the way up until the great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway stream, which allows us to do some neat things in that and help cover costs. So it's kind of a zero-sum game when I really say that we are kind of the nougaty center. We're just more of a hub. We're just the central hub of the entire wheel, which are all you fine folks. We mean it. That's the way it is. So we just take that money and we reverse it back into the community as we can. And so we would not be here and we would not be doing this without you, period. So, the first 3 years of me doing giveaway streams and things like that, those were all completely funded out of our pocketbook. And I'm certainly glad now that we've got a lot of friends of the channel that have been able to help us out along our journey here to be able to fund things. So, very fortunate.
Jeff Killian says that we're keeping them in suspense. He wants to know what happened to the Jeep.
The Jeep. Yes, we will have a talk about that. We shall have a rant about that. Oh, really not too much to rant about, but let me just go ahead and get that hot again. Seems to work better with just doing it while I'm jawling. It's easier to do it in 2 heats versus 1. So, the Jeep. And by the way, we haven't forgot about the giveaways. That'll be coming. It'll be coming after I finish getting the hole knocked through this back plate here. Are you okay?
I was about to sneeze.
Are you about to sneeze?
That's why I took my mic
Okay.
off. I'm okay now. As soon as I'm like, I'm about to sneeze, it's
I know you were going to chuck that away or what. So
yeah.
So the story on the Jeep, and I got to pull this jacket off. I'm getting warmed up here.
Okay.
It's 14 degrees. It's balmy inside
Balmy
the shop.
14.
It's very balmy.
Better than 0.
So the Jeep. The Jeep right now has an electrical issue. Not sure what it is. Not sure if it's the PCM, if it's the transmission range sensor, if it's the crank position sensor in it. It's either a sensor or a short in the wire has went awry with the Jeep, and it is in a no crank, no start condition. It's an 05 Jeep Liberty. Feel free to comment on the back of this comment stream and let me know your ideas if you are a mechanic there. So that's what's going on right now. Most likely, I've checked all my fuses, I've checked all my relays. Everything's within limits and all within tolerances. So it's leading me to believe that it is either a PCM issue or it is a broke wire somewhere, which through my scanning of the interwebs, seems to be pretty darn common on Jeeps, Liberties for that year, is just wiring harnesses breaking down on them, the wires snapping. So that is the story on the Jeep where it sits as of right now. Now, for those of you who are worried about my transportation situation and things like that, we've been saving a lot of pennies for a long time, and we've had to use those pennies here recently on purchasing a truck. So that's what we've done. We went out and purchased a secondary vehicle for us to drive around on and basically replace the Jeep until the Jeep stops acting up on us. So that's where we sit as of current. That's the current situation.
Rob Huff says one of those squirrels has chewed up the wires. It's an attack.
It might very well have been a squirrel. Like I said, it was running when I parked it. Literally ran fine. Parked the Jeep. Next morning came out to fire it up to go run errands, take packages down to the post office, and wouldn't you know it, nothing. No crank, no start, no nothing. So whatever happened the day prior while I was on my drive has something to do with it. There we go. Got another hole.
Blackbird Ironworks says, if possible, I always suggest Jeeps 1999 or older.
Yeah, 99 Jeeps are nice. Again, I think it's like with any vehicle, right? What I've learned as I've gotten a little bit older here slightly a bit more refined, is that vehicles are just vehicles, right? Like there's certain years that are just real turds, and they're like that. And then there's other ones that are grand and glorious for a very specific window of time. So it's 6 of one, half dozen of another when it comes to vehicles. It really is a roll of the dice. You roll out the dice, you don't know whether you're going to get anything good or not. The pickup truck that we ended up buying was a Chevrolet 1500 and extended cab, kind of like one of them bigger extended cabs. I don't know what they call them, but it's bigger than your ordinary extended cab. It's almost like a crew cab, but without a door handle on the outside. So we bought one of those with a 6.5 foot truck bed on it, and we're able to get it for a really good deal. Get it way under its book value. So that was a godsend for us. Yeah. So we've just been praising God and thanking for even having the ability to get such a thing. We've been in the position before where when we were broke down, that was our only vehicle, period, and we didn't have any money whatsoever to even come close to fixing it or purchasing another vehicle. So really being royally hosed.
JD says, what year is the truck?
Say what?
What year is the truck?
An 09. 2009. With only 103,000 miles on it, if you can believe it. And boy, howdy, when we were looking for vehicles, man, the amount of beaters with heaters that are out there that people want insane amounts of money for. Almost new prices.
Yeah, Hans was pointing that out, the 40.5% price increase.
Yeah. We looked at so many vehicles that should have been $1,500 or less vehicles that people had priced for $4,500 to $6,000. And it's just like, nope, I'll walk. I will get a bicycle. I will put wheels on that shaper I just repaired and a little transom gear, and that's how I'll go to town. One chukka at a time. I will literally mechanize my power hammer and ride it down the road. I will not be paying no $6,000 for a $1,500 vehicle. So, yeah, insane.
Mountain Home Forge, it is not blue, it's silver.
What's up?
He asked if it was blue, because remember, the cover the blue.
No, it is not blue. It is not blue at all.
The Animals Creation says that truck will help you get materials better than the Liberty.
Yes, it will. It's a much bigger vehicle, so it should help me be able to get materials a lot easier. Again, I feel, as our good friends Troy and Eli would say at Bar Run Forge, stupid blessed. So yeah, so we are good. We're healthy. That's all that matters. The rest is just money. And Roy won't be buying any other tools for the shop for quite some time, though. So that's one downside. But hey, it is what it is.
G Funkera says, I had a 94 Chevy, drove it till it had 260,000 miles on it.
Had what?
260,000 miles.
Woo-wee. That was Suburban?
Chevy.
A Chevy? Mm-hmm. Sweet. Well, let's hope this one lasts that long. You know, anybody who knows me, I'm the type, I really put a lot of maintenance in my vehicles. Like if there's something wrong, I'll fix it right away. If I'm in there and one sensor went out and there's 3 others surrounding it, I'll just go ahead and replace those 2 while I'm there, especially if it's difficult to get to. And that's just how I am. I keep up on all the maintenance on my vehicles really well. I don't let stuff get out of hand. So I'm hoping that we can keep this one going for a really long time. I've got a lot of money in the Jeep because of that, putting in new parts. So once I figure out the electrical issue, it should be a good, strong running vehicle for, you know, another 50, 60,000 miles at least on it. So, but alas, it's 14 degrees and working out in the middle of my dead center of my driveway with a 20-mile-an-hour wind, it's not my favorite task to do, is try to figure out where wires go. So the secondary vehicle was something we were on the lookout for to begin with, and it's a must. So it just so happens God kind of gave us a good old boot. Said, guess what? Now you're looking for that secondary vehicle. Dun da da da.
Gary Graham says, check the ground, and did you have any dash lights come on before it wouldn't start?
All the lights come on the vehicle. They all come on display. If you research a no crank, no start on YouTube, that's basically what's going on. But the problem is everybody and their brother has a different fix that seems to work. And so I'm just going through those fixes. But yeah, basically when you go to turn on the key, nothing happens. The radio dies out and it turns back on. When you let off the ignition, try to start it, radio dies out, go back on, no cranking over. I put a new starter, new battery in it. Of course, that's what everybody does to start with, and no, that wasn't the issue. So, yeah, there's some sort of short somewhere. I checked all the grounds originally. I may have missed a few, so might go back through and check grounds again. See what happens. Stranger things happen. I loved working on 80s models vehicles, you know. 70s and 80s, good Lord, they're so much easier to work on. If something's going haywire, it's like the body ground is all you had to mess with, you know. They're very simple. None of this reprogramming business, nothing like that. Way less computerized. Was a lot nicer to work on those type vehicles from home. Especially because you could actually get the wiring schematics for those vehicles. Unlike these newer vehicles, they don't want you to know what the wiring schematics are.
James Asbill said, I had a 96 Tahoe that I gave to the scout camp after 340,000 miles. I bought a 2017 Nissan Titan to replace the Tahoe.
Wow. That's a lot of miles.
That is a lot.
That is a well-used vehicle.
Some of the vehicles we were looking at, they had over 300,000 miles, and they were still wanting like above $5,000. It was crazy.
All right, baby. We should give something away, shall we?
Yeah, one sec.
Go ahead.
Jeff Barquette, welcome to the Bellows Boy.
Thank you. Is it Jeff Marquette?
Barquette. Mm-hmm.
Barquette?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Jeff Barquette. Thank you for joining the Bellows Boy.
Gordon Farmer, thank you for the $2 super sticker of I think it's a fox giving a thumbs up. And he says, hi, I'm sorry I'm late.
Hello. You're not late? You're on time.
All right, you may continue.
All right. Shall I continue?
Yes.
Should I continue? No.
Mm-hmm.
Should I continue? Should I give stuff away?
You should.
Now?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Can I do that?
Giveaway time. That's right, Michael Rowland.
It is like an hour in, so.
It is, yeah, 6:06.
And we haven't given anything away yet, so.
We just had to warm up reasonably, fashionably late.
Yeah.
For those people who are fashionably late, you've arrived just in time.
So we're going to do it a little bit differently this evening. Usually we throw the stickers in at the very end of the stream and just kind of like catch up other people. There's your chance to win. We're going to go ahead and give away the stickers at the beginning of the stream. I have a reason for that because, well, it's hilarious. That's why. And so I'm going to go ahead and give away some stickers right now to start this off before I move on to my other tools. Right. So for those of you who don't know, Dana Maggiore, he is our guy. If you don't know him, he's that DE mag that you see in the comment sections on a lot of YouTube blacksmith streams. You should, check him out. He's a cool guy, definitely a big friend of the channel, and he is the supplier of our sticker packs that we give away and that we sell over at our website, over there at blacksmithingblades.com. Right?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
Boom! Nailed it. I'm still working on my sales voice,
Mm-hmm.
But so him in collaboration with Troy and Eli over at Bar Run Forge, and I believe there was one other person involved, was it not? Dana, Troy and Eli.
Yeah.
And
was there a third party?
I think there was one other person. They got together and made a sticker for me. If you haven't seen their video, it's really hilarious. It's an infomercial for Christ-centered Ironworks brand Flux. And they made up a sticker to boot that actually works out with that. Let's go to camera number 2, Jess, and I'll show it off here.
All right.
So Dana went ahead and printed a whole bunch of these for us, about 30 of them. And there you have it. This is the Christ-centered Ironworks Blacksmithing Flux. It says at the bottom, caution may cause excessive irritation to Roy Adams. So it's a little inside joke around here on the channel because I don't use a ton of flux in my videos, and I'm kind of known as the anti-flux guy. So, which I'm not. I use flux too, but I like to keep that under wraps when I do use it, and I use it very sparingly. So yeah, so he ended up making this, and this just so happens fits on a box of 20 Mule Team borax. So if you guys want to take and put that on your stuff, you can do so. Also, we have this. Are we at the camera number 2? Also, my daughter, Abigail, as you can tell, her abilities in drawing is getting just out of this world. I'm so super proud of my daughter, Abigail. She's the 10 times the artist I'll ever be in the family. So she's definitely got good genetics from her mother when it comes to this sort of thing. But yeah, she drew up this forge to match, to look like the Mr. Volcano gas forge. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? Go ahead and compare that real quick, Jess, to the actual picture that she drafted that off of.
Yep.
You got it pulled up there?
I do, And we do it. We also took that design and put it on a T-shirt as well. So this year we do have a Year of the Forge T-shirt.
Yeah, so go back to the sticker. Doesn't it look just like it?
It does, yeah.
Isn't that insane? So good, so good. So anyway, super proud. Sorry, I'll stop jawing on about that. I'm just a proud papa is all. So we have a Year of the Forge sticker that we'll be giving away in tonight's stream. And we're actually going to be putting these together instead of our regular stickers, and we are going to be giving a pack of these away per person that we're about to draw for in the stream. So go back to the main cam, babe.
All right.
All right. So the way it works, we're just going to ring the anvil. When I come to a stop, Jessica's going to draw a name, a random name, and a random winner to actually win one of these stickers here. Dana, thank you so much. Troy and Eli, I'll get you someday for all this.
You did get to tackle him. So
I did get to tackle him,
ahead.
so that was quite amusing to me. But good thing he didn't fight back, because Troy is a stout feller, a real stout little feller. So we want to mess with Troy. So, but anyway, so we'll go ahead and draw for this now. This little the sticker pack here with the Year of the Forge sticker and the Christ-centered Ironworks Blacksmithing Flux sticker. Are we ready?
Yep.
So all you gotta do is be here, comment in the stream, and Jessica will pick one name at random. Ready?
Yep.
Set. Go. Who do we have, Jess?
We have Charles Scantling with nice stickers.
Charles Scantling, congratulations. Yep. You're the first winner of our sticker pack here. Get with us through the contact email in the description down below, and we will get this shipped out to you on Monday, provided we have your address and all that good stuff, okay? All right, we want to draw for somebody else?
Yeah.
Is everybody liking the stickers? Is that pretty cool?
Yeah, they like them.
Yeah, they like that? All right. Yep. Ready? All right, let's draw for sticker number 2. Who do we have?
We have 410 Blacksmith, 410 Forge Blacksmith, CCI Flux, hilarious video 2, BRF did it well. Abigail, that drawing is fantastic.
Who?
410 Forge Blacksmith.
410 Forge Blacksmith, congratulations. You were the second winner of one of these brand new sticker packs. Be sure to take and get with us through that contact email down in the description down below. Ready? Let's do a third person, shall we?
All right.
Good?
Yes.
Is everybody excited? I'm hoping they're excited. This is a lot of fun for me. Especially after the last 2 weeks that I've been having. Let's go. Who do we have?
We have Steven Adams with Let's Go.
Steven Adams, let's go. Congratulations. You're the third winner of one of these sticker packs. We'll give some more of those away here in a little bit, but I just wanted to kick it off with those. Again, so cool. Thank you, Dana, for those. Those are awesome, my brother.
By the way, Amy Lynn, thank you for the $50 super chat. Says, love you guys from Hans and family.
Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate that. God bless you. And yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for that. More than generous, more than kind. And you said that was Amy?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Don't let Hans know. You're spending all the pennies. He's in here somewhere. She did nothing, Hans. She did nothing. Huh. Oh. All right. So now I want to go ahead and give away another tool that we offer over our website, blacksmithingblanks.com. Boom. Got it. Nailed it. Let's go to camera number 2, Jess.
All right.
So I'm going to go ahead and giving away a 6-inch 120-degree tool. This tool, as I've mentioned before, is to find out how to put legs on a trivet. Hence, like this. Basically, you'll lay it on here, or any sort of tool that you're trying to actually lay out, 100 legs 120 degrees from each other. So this is tool specifically made for like trivets and small work, like little bowls where you want to put little feet on them right in the bottom and be able to find 120 degrees there off of center. So this tool will help you line that right up, and you'll be able to draw directly in these lines and scribe out a line and put your legs wherever you like there. So I'm going to be giving away one of these. I also have another one that I'll be giving away a little bit later, and it is the much larger 120-degree tool. This is for a much larger project. This is our 12-inch one that we offer. Again, you can get these over our website, blacksmithingblanks.com, if you're interested. It goes to support the channel. It goes to help support you as a blacksmith and make your life just a little bit easier. So what's better than that? You can't ask for a better relationship than that. So we're going to go ahead and give away the 6-inch one right now. We'll give the 12-inch one away a little later.
All righty.
We ready?
Yes.
All right. Should I make them say a special phrase? Just 120 degrees.
Yeah.
120 degrees is what you got to comment. Mm-hmm. And that will enter you in to win for one of these. Should I give them a sec? They good?
Yeah, they've already been commenting along with that. So
oh, they've already
give them a heads up.
All right. They know the game, don't they?
They do.
All right, let's go. Ring this anvil. See who wins. Who do we have, Jess?
All right, the first one with 120-degree tool is Matthew Barrick with 120-degree tool.
Hey, Matthew Barrett, congratulations. You are the winner of the 6-inch 120-degree tool. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a constant supporter. All right, so that's been given away. All right.
It is a very handy tool.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. So, most of you may know by now, we offer blanks over on our website. I know it feels blank heavy. It's just what I have to give away. Like I said, I've ate up a lot of my pennies for additional stuff. Has been ate up with maintenance on vehicle and buying a new vehicle that I was not anticipating. Well, new to us vehicle anyhow. Mm-hmm. That was not anticipated originally. So yeah, so that's kind of got me a little tapped and strapped. So I can only give what I can give, right? And that's what I can give right now. Mm-hmm. So thank you all so much. For the support, for everybody who's channel members, for everyone who does buy blanks, who just supports us with watch time, watching the videos and subscribing and liking videos and commenting. It helps out loads. It really does. And and thank you for sticking around and helping us to do these giveaway streams, because I find that when I get real sad and depressed and kind of just too focused on my own life issues, it's really helpful to me to give things away to people. Even to the point where some people are like, what are you doing, Roy? That's kind of dumb. You ain't got the money to do that. it makes me feel better. It just does, because I'm actually blessing somebody else's life and taking that leap of faith and put my trust in God that all of that will be provided unto me in the background, right? And so for me, that's a principle I try to live by, for my entire life. That's what I've tried to do, and that's what I do with the channel. Regardless of where we're at, we always try to take care of somebody else. And it all works out. It all works out in the long run, doesn't it, hun?
It does, yeah.
Oh, because no matter how bad it may look in your own personal situation, how grim, how stressful, how annoying, how whatever the emotion is that you're dealing with, always remember there's probably somebody else out there who has it a lot worse than you right now. So, I have first world problems, right? Like, oh, my vehicle won't run. I guess I'll have to find me another vehicle, right? Like, first world problems, right? Like, I'm not starving, right? I've got plenty of fat on me. I could live for 6 months without eating. So, I'm not in any danger of losing, life, limb, or property. So, there's, like I said, there's always somebody in a worse condition than you are, no matter what stage you're at. There's always just that much lower that you can go. So,
Bar and Forge sent a $10 super chat.
What'd he do?
$10 super chat.
Thank you.
He says, Jeep burial plot fund.
Oh, it'll be resurrected, but it won't be being buried. Maybe I should put it in a tomb and it'll rise again in 3 days. What do you think?
Oh, maybe.
I couldn't be that lucky. It'll rust and spot and the tomb will fall on it. That's what'll end up happening.
Wrap it with a white cloth or something.
That's a bit of muslin out in the driveway. That'll really freak out the neighbors. People will be driving by like, what is that guy doing? I'm mummifying my Jeep. You mind? I just take out its components. I just start taking out its components and putting them in separate vessels and wrapping it with muslin.
That would be funny. Be quite
They're like, what are you doing? I'm mummifying my Jeep for a later date. I'm already the weird guy in the neighborhood. I don't need to get weirder.
Thomas sent a $2 super chat, says, Jeeps never die, they just take a nap.
Yeah, that's right, Thomas. Thank you for the $2 super chat. You need to be saving your pennies, my friend. Save your pennies. Greatly appreciate that. All right. So, I want to give something else away, and then we're going to move on to the next little stage.
Okay, one more super chat?
Huh? Yeah, let's do one more super chat.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Blackbird Ironworks sent $10 and said, love the perspective 100%.
Thank you, Blackbird Ironworks. Greatly appreciate that. I don't know what other type of perspective you can have. You might as well, if you're going to have one, you might as well be a positive one, right? Mm-hmm. The other one doesn't lead to anywhere good. Anyhow, so. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go to camera number 2. Jess?
All right.
Will you oblige me? Clicky fingers.
Clicky fingers McGee.
Whatchoom! Guess what? That's right. You can find these where? Dun, dun, dun. Blacksmithingblanks.com.
That's right, Debaka Maker. If you didn't know, now you do.
If you didn't know, you need to buy. Just start, take a close, right? Too bad we can't do a live in-person edit, that you crop in
there.
Do that funny thing. So we got these blanks. We've added these. Most of you have seen these on John's channel over at Black Bear Forge. He actually just did a hook blank not too long ago. We got a little affiliate program going with John, and so he's been nice enough to take and shout out these blanks before. So we've got one of these in this pack. We're going to give away this whole pack to one lucky person, and I've got another one to give away as well. Some of the new ones we've offered on the website started is a deer hook blank. Look how pretty that looks. That one was actually a booger. This one took a while to get right, and the reason why is these horns. Can't position in a way. These horns are real fine, right? Or they were. Originally, this was a lot smaller. These were all the size of this bear hook, but at that size, these horns were practically blown in two. I mean, they were non-existent. So this was really This was actually quite the challenge, wasn't it, hun?
Yeah, it did.
So,
took a couple of reiterations.
She's over there taking her boots off.
I'm flipping hot hands in my feet.
Okay. So, yeah, so we have a deer hook blank. We have a bear hook blank. We have a moose hook blank. That one's a fun one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, that one's nice.
The moose hook blank. And, of course, a lot of people's favorite, elk. We have an elk hook blank.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. So, again, you can make these up for a cabin or somebody you know that has a cabin, or for yourself. Look very cool. At least I think so. You can type in the name of the lodge right here in this. We gave enough space here that if you want to type in a name, like if you want to stamp in a name, I keep saying type, but you could stamp a name in here, you know.
House number.
A saying, a house number, a jacket number, keys, numbers, things like that. That's what those are good for. So I'm going to go ahead and give these away. Just as you see them here, I'm going to give a pack of those away, all right? Go back to the main cam, Jess.
Okie doke.
I swear, I'm going to I know, like, as time progresses on, I am going to keep getting called a shill. I know. A shameless self-promoter, right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
like, although a shill is somebody promoting somebody else's stuff.
So I don't think it counts.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think it counts.
I don't think it counts. It's all right. All YouTubers have to become shills at some point to keep the whole ball rolling. So you guys know the deal. You've been around long enough. You're smart people. Oh, all right. Are you ready to go?
Yes, I am.
Let's give it away. The more I ramble, the more I get myself in trouble.
Is that what happened?
Who do we got, Jess?
All right, we have Mad Mr. Fox with Animal Menagerie, please.
Ooh, Animal Menagerie,
that's
huh?
right.
Mad Mr. Fox, congratulations. You're the first winner of our Animal multi-pack hook thing. Whatever. Animal Menagerie.
The zoo.
He said it better.
Yeah,
he said it better
Menagerie.
than me. Didn't he?
Somebody said, what? No squirrels? No squirrels yet.
Not yet. We could offer those over where?
Dun, 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 dun.
Blacksmithingblanks.com. Send us your suggestions, and more importantly, buy 100 of them when we get them made.
Oliver says, I like the elk the best, would make a nice jacket hook.
Yep. We just so happen to have about 50 of them cut, so that's a lot of jackets.
Let's see here. Steve Starlin asked before the giveaway, I don't have a ton of money to throw out there. Are there other ways we can help support you?
Who is that again?
Steve Starlin.
Steve Starling. It doesn't require money to support us. The great free ways of supporting us, share the stream with those, like, wherever you're at social media wise or not, like, just share the stream with your buddies and friends. Have them come over, watch the stream, right? Maybe they'll like it enough that they subscribe and watch it on their own time, right? There's stuff like that. Liking the videos help. It creates engagement on a YouTube video or a live stream. It creates engagement, and YouTube looks at that on whether they're going to promote the stream or video that you shot next time, right? Because if you didn't get a lot of engagement, but a lot of views, then they'll be like, okay, well, he bought all those views, so not very popular, don't recommend this person again, right, on YouTube. So hitting that like button's important, commenting, that all counts as engagement, or even if you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. That's still engagement. It helps the videos. It really does. It helps them find the right audience, if you will. Share the videos is huge. We actually don't get that many shares of our content, surprisingly. It's not something that a lot of people do. They just don't share our content. They find whatever they need and they roll on, right? They get the information they were looking for. With all the videos that we have out, we have over 1,700 now videos. We have over 1,700 videos on the platform. They hit the like button, or maybe not, and they just move on. They got the information they need and move on. So sharing the videos are hugely helpful, doing that sort of thing. That is a way of promoting and helping us without any sort of monetary whatsoever. Also, another thing for our great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway live stream, if you have something blacksmith tool related that you want to send for us to give away, that's another way that you could do it, right? You know, it still requires money, obviously, for shipping or whatever to ship it to us in order for us to give it away, but that's a fairly low-cost endeavor, and it's a way that you can have a big impact on the community and somebody else's life. So that's another way of doing it. But yeah, just likes and comments and being active, engaging in the community, that's good enough to support.
I'd like to bring up a couple of super chats here. First one came from Simeon Beeler, who sent a $5 super chat.
Go ahead.
He says, "Hey Roy, I was going to do an internship for CMA in Johnston, Pennsylvania. It got canceled because of a vax mandate. What is your advice for blacksmith education?" So he was going to do an internship, but it got canceled.
Because of what?
A vax mandate.
Oh, because of vax mandate? Okay. So, my advice for blacksmithing education is that don't get tunnel vision. There's a lot of institutions out there that would like you to believe that their institution is the only way to learn blacksmithing, and that's just clearly false. There are literally thousands now in the United States, different institutions that you can go learn blacksmithing through. Some of those of which are your own, learning through peers or your own peer group via a blacksmithing club in your local locale or your state, right? You can usually learn a lot from there. Sometimes it's just a place for dudes to hang out and talk about the good old days. So you might be in one of those clubs, but chances are if you stay there, you listen about the good old days, eventually maybe one of them old guys will come along and say, "Hey, let me show you something, young whippersnapper." That sort of type deal, especially if you're showing a good earnest interest in things. That was my first experience with anything education-wise when it came to blacksmithing other than being self-taught. Beyond that, I went to Touchstone Center for Crafts that's out there right around Johnstown, PA. Touchstone Center for Crafts, went there a lot. I got several scholarships to go. I would suggest that you look around for scholarships to go take classes places. I know Abana has a scholarship program. Most blacksmithing clubs have scholarship programs that no one ever takes advantage of, and so therefore the money just sits there because nobody inquires. So that's what I would do. I would go look around with those things. Obviously, you can do YouTube. That's a good thing as well. If you're anywhere near Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, or Cincinnati, Ohio area, there is a great blacksmithing school down there called Goshen, Ohio, or the Goshen Historical Society School of Blacksmithing or something like that. Basically, it's in Goshen, Ohio. You can look it up. Jamie Geyer. If you look it up on Facebook, I believe Rob can post a link to it there.
Yeah.
The name is kind of long-winded, but Rob can put a link to that there in the chat there for you. I actually personally teach there every year. I've got 2 one-day classes coming up that I'll be teaching there just in Cincinnati, Ohio. And then you can also find private individuals that offer private classes. That is probably the most expensive option because you're taking up somebody's time and it's an individualized, focused attention versus if there's 10 people in the class, they share the cost load of the hours across all 10 people versus you taking up somebody's time for an entire week, right? On a week-long class or a weekend class. That tends to run a bit higher in that regard. So that's my suggestions. Books, reading, YouTube, look at your local group, and just don't get tunnel vision on any particular group as being like, oh, they're the best, they're the only way I can learn, because it's just not true. There's so many options out there nowadays, it's not even funny. All right, let's go to the anvil, Jess.
Okay.
Can we do that real quick?
Yes, we can.
I'm sorry, I'm spending a little long talking there, but
It's okay.
it's a good topic. So I already split this on the bandsaw, so I'm going to go ahead and bend my legs opposite directions here, just so I can get in at them and forge them. I'm going to lay this on the anvil, put a cube of material out, forge that down. Forge right up into the crook of that leg. This is why I like a nice square face hammer. Can you see how that intersects?
Uh-huh.
You can get right in there. Wasn't pay attention and I accidentally climbed up the stock a little bit. That's going to hurt me a little bit in the next step, but that's okay. Create a little foot there. That's going to get rounded up and then bent out into a little scroll. Same thing with the other leg.
Gotcha.
Good?
Yes. Next, we have a super chat from Dan Bledsoe.
A what?
Dan Bledsoe.
Dan Bledsoe. Thank you for the super chats.
He sent a $100 super chat and a Bible verse.
Thank you so much, sir.
And it said, the Bible verse reads, I have been young and now am old, yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread. Psalm 37, verse 25. And he says, God bless you and your family.
Amen. Thank you so much, brother. God bless you and your family as well. That is much appreciated. Too kind. Too kind. Need to look for a pair of tongs real quick. Keep talking.
All right. Somebody asked how many times you've taught at Goshen.
How many times have I
Yep.
taught at Goshen?
Yep, Tim O'Connor asked.
I was actually one of the founding teachers at Goshen. So I've been teaching at Goshen since Goshen School of Blacksmithing has been a thing.
Was that 2018? Maybe. Yeah, I think it was 2018.
Yeah.
You've taught at least, I think, close to 12 classes there.
Probably 12. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'd say that's about right. Probably 12 classes. I've slowly been ramping things down. I used to live in Dayton, Ohio, and so it was like a real quick trip for me to go teach a class there. But now I live up in northern Michigan, so now it's 7.5 hours one way for me to come down and teach a class. So that has caused me to, slow up the amount of classes I teach there. No fault of their own, just life. Life gets in the way sometimes of the things I want to do. Don't like that. Trying to find a little stockier, little stronger pair of tongs to bite onto this thing with. We'll see how that works. All right, I got time for one more question, Jess, and then we're going to go heat and beat here. And we are on the main cam, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
410 Forge Blacksmith sends a $20 super chat and says, to help with your shipping costs, # boots for the butterfly.
Boots for the butterfly. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Hats off to each and every last one of you ladies and gents out there. Sending the support. All right. Back to the anvil cam, please.
Yep.
Knock that corner off. Inside corner off. I'll take one more heat on that to knock that little nubbin of a corner off there. But it's coming out nicely. As you can see, I don't have to absolutely murder this thing. Blacksmithing is a craft of finesse. Get that hot, and I'll take one more little rounding heat on that. It's also nice on this at this stage is if you go with a littler hammer. So if you go with a little smaller hammer, you're not pushing the material around as much, but you're actually you're moving the surface material and not trying to deform the whole end, so to speak. So when you're trying to get this last little bit in, sometimes it's very helpful to move to a smaller hammer. And I'll show you what I mean here. I'll actually move to a little smaller hammer. Questions, Jess? Comments, concerns, complaints?
Sure. Danimals Creations ask, Roy, does doing YouTube take away much from customer projects, or are you working on orders while filming and going live?
Working on orders while filming, while going live, while doing everything. I am the rising tide. Roy is the wind.
There's Yamez when you need a screen grab.
Hold on, big thing. The wind. The ample camp just. Oh.
Let's see here. Steven Starlin asks what you enjoy making the most.
I enjoy making Baroque ironwork the most. Highly detailed, computational forgings. That's what I enjoy making the most. So if it fits in that category, I'm your man for that. I like making clean forgings that have step by step by step type of process to them. I enjoy that most. So complex forgings. It's become less, for me, it has become less about an item, right? A finished item is my favorite, right? Like, oh, I made a Coke bottle holder. That's my favorite thing. Or, oh, I made a sign bracket now, and that's my favorite thing. It's more about the process in general and how I go about undertaking that process. That is my most favorite thing about blacksmithing, or favorite thing to make. So it falls into a broad category. I can be happy making and forging on just about anything except knives. That's not generally something I'm into. For the most part, I'm not into making knives because they don't have dimension for me. That it's not a complex forging. It's not computational forging. It has a lot of finish work. It's sharp, flat, and pointy, and you got the basics of knife work. I don't geek out about the science of steel and how I could bend a blade in two and put it back and all this other stuff. I just don't get into that. That doesn't make me excited to go forging. But making something like a fire basket, like a medieval fire basket with rosettes and dragons and scrolls and like that, woo baby, I'm into that. That's my jam. So let's go to the anvil.
So Tim O'Connor says, is it acanthus leaves then?
Acanthus leaves, those are nice, yes. I do like those quite a bit.
Matthew Barrick says, Roy, I know you don't like knives, but hear me out. Would you make a war hammer?
Would I make a war hammer? Sure, because it's a hammer. If it was ornate enough. And that's the only reason why I'm saying sure, because most of them were ornate. There you go. There's the second leggy. This is why I said I'm going to get on a little bit of rant here for right now. And this is for all you younger folks out there, you younger blacksmiths, and not just in age. I'm talking about most likely age, but I should say you younger male blacksmiths. I'm going to be very specific on this. I say this all the time to students. There is no value in getting something done in one heat. Zero. There's zero value in getting something done in one heat. What matters most is the result. How efficiently can you come about a finished result? That's what matters. There's zero value in knocking out something in one heat. There's a lot of stuff that goes out there about, oh, I busted out this hammer in one heat. Yeah, but is it going to snap 20 strikes in or 400 strikes down the road? I would much rather take the extra time to make sure my work is correct. Now, if you can efficiently, safely, and creatively make that hammer in one heat, fine. More power to you. That's great, right? You can like not have to burn stuff up like I'm doing right there because I'm running my jaws. That's fine. You could do that. But don't get trapped into thinking that you're good if you can get something done in one heat. There's not any value in it. What matters is the final result and what its purpose was for. That same thing. You know, I can actually forge a blade in just a few heats. I can preform something like a knife, but that don't make me a knife maker, and it sure as heck won't cut a slice of cheese or bread or anything, right? Like that doesn't mean anything to be able to do that. Where the value comes in is being able to accurately forge and efficiently forge what it is that you are after. And that efficiency means when you're done with it, that it requires the least amount of cleanup work. You've done a good job then. So that's a very pointed and directed comment out there to some of you in the community. I was young when I got into blacksmithing, 19, right, Jess?
Uh-huh.
I was 19 years old when I got into blacksmithing, and I thought, I'm a man, I'm swinging a 12-pound sledgehammer one-handed, right? That's my power hammer. Look how fast I can get this done. And the result was it looked like poo-poo. Just at the end of the day, it just looked like poo-poo. It wasn't great. It wasn't $10,000 ironwork. Yeah, I was done with it quicker, but it wasn't it wasn't my best work I could do because I didn't know enough yet to be able to be efficient at what I was doing. So don't get trapped in that. You may say, well, that's kind of a sexist comment. And well, it is, because I've taught a lot of people, and women don't have that problem. They do not have that learning deficit when it comes to that. They're not going, I want to swing the heaviest hammer. Me, Billy, me, strong. Nope. They don't have that problem. So don't do it when you're young. Focus on working efficiently and producing clean results. That's what you should be focusing on.
Eric says, Roy, do you need a spoon for that? Of course, they have to find a way of tying that back in.
They do have to find a way, don't they?
They do. And Troy over here is cracking jokes. So now Roy cut the cheese and broke wind? Steven says, I appreciate the pointer. I'm 27 and just getting started into the craft.
Very welcome. Some guys, earlier on I didn't have good delivery in the channel. I'm the same guy as I was when I first started YouTube, and basically when I first started blacksmithing, I'm very much the same guy. But I have learned about my delivery has to change a little bit. So some people get offended by those statements, but it's truth. It comes from years of experience doing this professionally. If that stitch in time saves 9, right? You can say the same thing, right? A couple extra hammer blows can be the difference between ruin, failure, or a perfected piece. Just 3 hammer strokes is all it takes. And so it doesn't matter that you can whip it out as fast as you humanly possible if it looks like garbage at the end. It needs to function and perform, and it needs to be cleanly forged. And especially all of you that are interested in doing tools, making tools. Grain structure is huge. If you do any architectural ironwork, grain structure is insanely important. How the material has flown, how you've made the material move under hammer. Hammer and anvil, I should say. It matters. What heat did you bend your stuff at? because that stuff could come snapping off on somebody someday and end up killing an entire family because your bracket that was holding up a balcony broke because you rushed it and you were trying to get it done in one heat and you didn't normalize your material afterwards. Stuff like that. You rushed a rivet, you got it in sideways and then sheared it halfway through, and now you've got a rivet that's coming loose, right? Later on down the road with a little bit of corrosion. Those things matter when you get into architectural work as well. So slowing it down and being efficient with the hammer, knowing how to put each blow right where it needs to be without an excessive amount of blows, without an excessive amount of heats to get the job done. That is good ironwork. Getting stuff done in one heat, there's zero merit in it. It's just more of a show. It's kind of a sideshow type deal. I used to tie a knot in one heat for a party gag at, street fairs and things. Be like, oh guys, look, all right, everybody, whoa, watch this. I'm gonna stick this piece in here. I'm gonna bring it out, watch you young man, come right up. Watch me pull this out and I'm gonna tie it in a knot, right? One heat. Thing was ugly as sin because it had been sitting in that gas forge for like ever. It had been in there for hours. You're waiting for somebody to come up or to develop enough of a crowd. So this way I could show them off my little party trick there. And that's all the good one heat things are. So we can go back to the anvil cam, babe. Mm-hmm. I know you've been waiting on me patiently.
Yeah.
Or knock those legs back together. Now I can see the one I've got a little bit of extra thickness in and didn't draw it out nearly as much. You can see the difference there. So when I roll this one, I'll start with this longer leg, roll it up first, and then I'll redraw out that shorter leg just a little bit to make it match.
Currently looks like it could be feet on a little person.
Yep, it could. Little happy feet.
Dana says, you're not the same guy. You are older, LOL.
Yeah, that's right. I am older. Oh.
G. Taylor says, you have come a long way from the start, Roy. You are way more comfortable with being in front of the camera. You now talk to us like we are there. Love it.
Well, I'm glad you stuck around for as long as you have. You know, when I first started YouTube, I thought that's the way you did videos, right? You had to be very dry. You had to be very... you had to be about the thing, the process, and it wasn't a conversation, right, like what we're having right now. I actually feel like you're here. Like, obviously you're not. I'm talking to a camera right now. But I know you're out there watching me in your comfy little socks in your living room or whatever, right, with your Cheeto-stained wife beater T-shirt and your Batman underwear, right, and we're having a good time together. We really are. Jessica.
You have to bring that back up.
Yeah, right? And you're learning something, and I'm having a fun time teaching, and that's my heart. It's always been, is to teach, right? Like, I enjoy teaching what I know of the craft because I have been disproportionately blessed to be able to have, the mentors and the teachers who've taught me. So I like passing that on, and that's where we're at. So. Yeah, I would say, not to give myself a rah-rah, Roy's the best, but I would say my delivery has gotten a lot better because it's more of a conversation between two people or 1,000 people or whatever.
Matthew Barrick says, how did you know what I'm wearing?
It's just a guess, Matthew, just a guess. Go to the anvil.
All right.
All right, we're going to go over the horn, knock that leg out there. Roll that in on itself a little bit. Secret to a good scroll is to always keep the thing moving. And never hit the same place twice. Again, this is a lot of work just to hang a little chandelier, but in the shop. Like no one else is going to see this except for me and whoever shows up in my shop someday, but but I'll see it. I was going to go fancier than this, and one day I will. I'll go a little bit fancy, but I just need done is better than perfect. Get some heat into that other piece, and away we go.
Heath Miller says it doesn't matter how fast you can make a toilet spoon if it can't spoon a toilet.
That's right, Heath. So it was funny, I actually had a troll come along and comment here lately, since I've got my AA support group here with me. And what's interesting is, usually the comments don't bug me, but this particular time, I was stressing out about the Jeep, didn't know what was wrong with it, stressing out about having to try to find another vehicle and orchestrating with my dad. He drove clear up from Ohio to take and give us a ride so we could go around looking at vehicles, right? All this stuff going on in my life, trying to get prepared for everything, trying to get a video, feeling like a failure in everything that I was doing. And of course, I had to have, about that time, it's like they can smell it. The trolls can smell that you're down on the floor, right? And they're going to aha, going to give them a kick. And this guy came in and commented that he's a scam, this guy's a scam, talking about in reference to me on older videos that I produced 3 years ago. 3 years ago, where I hand cut blanks out with my Hobart plasma cutter and forged them, and I put a price tag on the thumbnail of what I've sold a similar product before on Etsy. And so I did a thing. I was like, okay, hey, I forged this bull, and this one's worth, $175, which, by the way, I sold for $225 instead of the $175 that I mentioned in the video. And so this guy copy and pasted his comment like 5 times in 5 separate videos and said, oh, he's a scammer because he's inflating these prices because he sells the blanks. And I was going to argue with the guy, and I was going to be like, dude, check the timestamp. These videos were produced 3 years ago, before I ever even had a plasma cutter, a CNC plasma cutter bed. But instead, Roy wasn't having it. I just block and delete. You're gone. Forever. Sayonara. So it's but yeah, that's a good example of what you get on YouTube. That's, you drum those up. For the most part, everyone's nice. Back in the day, talked about, this is in reference to how much I've changed. Oh, buddy. Back in the day, it had been on like Donkey Kong, son. Oh, I would have hunted him down on Facebook. I would have set out to ruin his little world. But I'm a changed man.
Rhett Rainey asked if we would ever do a custom blank.
Would I ever do a what?
If we'd cut custom blanks.
Yes. We will cut custom blanks. We have a $100 minimum order though. And it'll depend on what type of blank needs to be cut, whether it falls within the materials we already have on hand. So, mainly because, say you wanted something out of 3/4 inch thick material, and I don't have any of that on hand, I have to go buy an entire sheet of 3/4 inch plate. 4x8 plate. 4 foot by 8 foot plate of 3/4 inch plate, which you can imagine would be quite expensive. So that's how we handle that. What do you think?
Yeah, I like that.
Look good?
Uh-huh, it does.
Looks good enough for an old barn, huh?
Yeah.
And now I just do the other side. Lickety split the same way.
Everybody with their troll comments.
Huh?
Corey Shire says, never argue with trolls. They'll drag you under the bridge and beat you senseless, LOL.
Yeah.
Liv Learn says, trolls are good eating. Meat's kind of yellow and it tastes like chicken.
Yeah. No. And again, who knows, maybe this guy had a bad day. Maybe he had a bad experience. Maybe he bought something, he was unhappy with some of the whatever he got from me, and he just decided, well, I'll just go give this guy a bad name without ever emailing him and just bawl him out in his YouTube comment section. Well, that's how I handle that. Block, delete. So it's just not worth the time or the muscle memory or energy into.
Possum Sausage asks if we'll cut 3/8" plate.
If what?
If we'll cut 3/8" plate.
Possum sausage?
Uh-huh.
Yes, I've got some 3/8 on hand. Small amount of 3/8 on hand, but yes, I can cut 3/8" plate. The thing to know about that, with the bed that I've got a plasma cutter that can cut up to 1¼ inch thick plate. That's not the problem. The problem is that the Langmuir Systems Crossfire Pro that I have, their Z-axis, the up and down portion, is woefully inadequate for professional use. And the reason why is there's a ton of slop in their bearings that you can't tighten it enough to get the slop out of the bearings, because they've got roller bearings that roll up and down on the transom there. Well, that's guided. Everything else is fine, but the problem with it is when you put in the torch, my big torch holder, my machine torch for the Hypertherm system, when it goes out to the furthest end of its cut range, it pulls on the top of that ever so lightly, and any little movement up here is worlds down here. And so when you go through really thick plate, like 1 inch or something like that, you get a fairly heavy chamfer that shows up on the part or draft that I don't like, but is unavoidable with my current cutting setup. A professional CNC machine, you're not going to have that. The Z-axes are built very sturdy and very strong, but again, this is set up to be used with like a hand torch, right? Somebody's homeowner grade kind of hand torch, not set up to be used with an actual CNC a machine torch the way that I've got it set up. So that's my only complaint really with that. You know, as far as 3/8, if it's going to be ground squarely later on or something like that by you, or it doesn't matter that it has that bit of a chamfer to it, yeah, I can cut 3/8 plate too as well.
Let's see, he said if he brought some next week, could you cut some?
Do what?
If he brought some next week when he comes, could we cut some 3/8" plate if I brought a file next week? So he's got a file and he's got the plate.
Possibly. Like. You'll have to just DM us about it. Mm-hmm. Yep. And we'll check it out. We can talk over the details on that.
Mm-hmm. Wayne Morey, yes, we are still live.
Yes, we are.
And we have.
Well, I think hold on. Yep, we're still alive.
Not alive, but live.
Okay, good. Go the anvil, please.
Yes. Yes, and we have yet to give away the gas forge and some additional prizes.
Did that the wrong way. Should have went that way with it. There we go.
Reverend Lars Hassler says, can you do a Damascus wall cross?
Damascus wall cross. Yes, I can. I did a Mokame cross, an inlaid Mokame cross a while ago.
It was real pretty.
Huh?
It was real pretty.
Yeah, that was years ago I did one of those, so.
Yeah.
Yep, get with me. Direct message.
That was 5 years ago, if you can believe that.
5 years ago?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Jeez. Time flies when you're having fun.
Mm-hmm. Let's
or
see.
Something that is very similar to fun.
We had a couple of questions from beginner level blacksmiths.
Go for it.
One is from Spider. He says, what is the first thing you recommend getting getting to start blacksmithing as a hobby for someone who has not a single thing at all?
If you're going to purchase something, buy a hammer. Number one, you got to have something to whack things with. Number two, find yourself an anvil of some type. So use your wacky thing to go around and find your hammer upon thing, your whackable thing, if you will. Whether that be another hammerhead stuck in the dirt, or a cheap Amazon anvil, or the highest quality anvil you can find, or just a piece of rod or something like that that's big enough that you can hammer upon. That would be your step two. Your step three, you've got to get a heat source of some kind. That can be as small as just a little propane, little map gas torch stuck into a little fire brick, like a soft fire brick, and doing a little 1-brick forge, all the way up to, again, the nicest coal forge, or a pit dug in the ground, right, and running charcoal in it. So that's it. You need heat, and you need a hammer and a place to hammer upon, and some steel, and you can basically do the rest from there. That is my suggestion. Work on those things roughly in that order if you're starting from absolutely zero. Now, ideally, you'll have some idea and some budget to do this to start with, and you will buy yourself a regular hammer that you can dress. A 2-pound cross peen is a good place to start. Get yourself a 2-pound cross peen hammer. Get yourself a really cheap set of punches and cold chisels from any of your big box stores. Go ahead and buy yourself a anvil, whether it be a cheap Harbor Freight one, or it be one of the cheap ones you can get over on Amazon. Do one of those type of anvils. And then get yourself a small economical forge to work off of. A small selection of steel, nothing over 1/2 inch in diameter in material size, and go to town. And then start researching everything you can about the subject of blacksmithing. No, this is not a hobby that is free. It's not a free hobby. There's guys who say, oh, you can have it, you can do this for as cheap as $50. No, you can't either. They're omitting things like, oh, I built my own coal forge for $25 in steel. Yeah, but they put it together with a $1,000 MIG welder and, $200 in clamps and, all the other consumables that go with it, $90 in bottle gas, all this other stuff. They don't include that in on their little $25 forge that they made. So, keep that in mind. This is an industry. This is a trade. It's most people do it as a hobby or just for fun, but it is still an industry and trade, and so therefore tradesmen's tools, they cost money. If you're going to buy the most premium, it's going to cost you a premium, just like anything else. You can't get into souping up sports cars without any money to buy parts, right? Mm-hmm. There is some small cost that has to happen in that transaction. We go to the anvil, please. I'll take another question once you got it.
All right. A little earlier, Jamie Geyer said, Roy has helped us grow tremendously by leading outstanding classes every visit.
Yep, Jamie's your man. He's the guy you want to go see and talk to about classes in Goshen, Ohio.
We will be announcing our official schedule for the year probably in about a month. So anybody who's interested in catching up with us at a conference or a class, if you go over to our website under our calendar of events page, you'll find more information on that over there.
Get hot again.
The Gray Bearded Veteran says, how much has steel increased in price?
500%. Oh.
Yeah,
depending on the material. Mm-hmm. Not all steel is the same. So just because plate steel has increased 500%, but Other bar stock that's odd sizes, not so much. Other stuff that's being used by everyone in industry, way up there. So it just depends on what the material is how expensive it's gotten. They say 50, 60% increase. That's just dead wrong. It's 500%. Just 5 times more today to buy a plate of steel. So it's very, very, very not cost effective right now. So if you got a big scrap pile, hold on to it. You're holding on to gold nuggets right now.
Mad Mr. Fox asked, why did bending the legs a certain way matter?
Okay, so these are what we call conveniency bends, courtesy bends, some people call them. Basically what we're doing is we're bending the legs out of the way. To answer more specifically to your question, why does it matter which way I bent the legs? It matters because of the way that I'm hammering currently. I am hammering with my right hand coming down on the anvil, and if I bent the legs the opposite way, I would have been crossing over myself to work on that shoulder by switching the legs. So if it was bent this way, if you will, go to secondary cam, Jess. Let me
Sure, hon.
make sure this doesn't burn up while I'm answering this question. Okay, so if this underleg, this bottom hand, we got them in line. If it was like this and I'm trying to hammer on that with my right hand, I'm going to be knocking the top leg as I hammer. So I bent it that way, out of the way. So this way when I square it up on the anvil, I'm crossing over and nailing that, hammering that shoulder down because it's easier for reach. If it was the opposite way, it would be weird. I'd have to stand very weird to work on that leg. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So by orienting it the certain way, my hand can be oriented this way with the leg sticking straight out so I can maintain a good neutral working position at the anvil. So we go ahead and go stay at that cam, Jess.
Okay.
So now I'm going to go ahead and knock off my corners here. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that I've been, talking about down in Goshen. It's like, yeah, I've been there since they've started. Or at least I think I have. They didn't have much going on. I believe I was their first class there. I might be wrong on that. Jamie would know better. Get that hot again. I'm going to use that light hammer to take off that little bump there. I'll move on to the next leg.
Wayne Morey says, hey Roy, what is the smallest size shop should I build? I am a beginner and plan on being a full-time maker in the next 5 years.
Is he going for smallest or largest?
Smallest size shop he could get away with.
Okay, so basically you could get away in a tin can if you wanted to, but it's not going to be very comfortable. If you're wanting to be a full-time maker, I was tight, but I was able to do a full-time living in a 12 by 20 shop. Now, depending on what you're making, that may or may not be good for you. If you're a knife maker, you probably don't need much bigger than that, to be honest, because you're working on small things. If you're going to be wanting to get into doing gates or railings or things like that, you'll probably need something closer to the 2,000 square foot that I'm in right now. So a 40 by 50 building. You'll probably need something along those lines as your minimum. If you're going to just build once, it's kind of one of those buy once, cry once situations in that case. And so therefore, it would be my suggestion to build as large of a shop as you can afford, because there is never too big of a shop. You'll always be wishing I had more space. You may not right now. You're like, I don't really need all the space, until you get a really large commission and you're going to be wishing you had that extra 10, 20 feet built onto your shop to begin with. Because let's face it, you're probably not going to be building another one for a while once you get one built. You're not going to wreck your one down and build another one. So that is my suggestion. on that. 12 by 20, I would say, is probably for professional attributes, for pursuits of professionalism, that will give you the most range of tools. You can fit a power hammer in there, you can fit a press in there, you can fit a couple forges in there, you know, you can fit a welding table in there, you know, tong racks, things like that if you're clever about how you stow all your tools, right? Little grinding bench and some leg vices. So, yeah, you can fit a lot in a 12 by 20 space.
Zachary says, what's a good alternative to a leg vise?
Bench vise. Pretty easy. Heavy duty bench vise. Get as heavy of bench vise as you can stand. The reason for a leg vise is to take beatings from the top down. That's what the leg is for. It transfers all that energy, hammer energy, straight down to the floor and then back up at you. That is the way a leg vise is supposed to work. As where a bench vise, when you whack on the jaws, it puts all that energy into leverage against the back of the housing of the jaws of the leg vise there. The bench vise, I should say. And so that's the principal difference between a leg vise and a bench vise. So if you don't have a leg vise option, bench vise will work for anything where you're doing twisting and lightweight upsetting operations. You'll be good to go.
Corey says, will next year be the year of the post vise?
Year of the post vise. Ooh, prices are going to have to drop down quite a bit on those. I do have a couple sitting around here, but I've got one I'm going to be putting into use, and I don't know if I'm going to give away the other two that I've got available, or if I'm going to actually sell them or use them in the future. I don't need that many vices. I got my main shop vise that I started my blacksmithing journey with here, my main leg vise, and then I've got one in the other side of the shop, and then I've got a much bigger one, a 5.5-inch jaw vise that's going to become the main shop vise here as soon as I get some time to mount it up. But the other ones are just kind of your standard vices, not super huge, not super small. Let's go to the anvil.
All right.
Might be. Remember that reciprocal relationship we were talking about? Mm-hmm. Sky's the limit. One day I hope to do the year of the power hammer. That'd be great. I'm either going to have to work with a company to do that, or people in the community are going to have a lot of excess disposable income. Just get that hot again.
Kyle Simonite says $150 Amazon vise or a $250 secondhand vise?
If it's a good looking $250 secondhand vise, I'd go for a $250 secondhand vise, old vise, as long as the threads and the screw box are good. If that's good, you're golden. I'd go for that. Just as an FYI, if you're real diligent and you wait and you look out there, vices do come up on occasion for pretty cheap. I bought one of my vices for $50. I found another vise at the junkyard for $75. You used to be able to buy post vices all day long for $25 and $50, between $25 to $50. They used to not be that high until the whole Forge and Fire kick and all of that other good stuff, the resurgence of blacksmithing here. So if you're patient and you wait, you can find barn finds and flea markets and things like that where you can find a vise fairly economically.
Just so you know, hun, we're at 7:17.
Okay.
Rhett Rainey asked, what brand of big anvil do you prefer?
What brand of big anvil?
Uh-huh.
You'll have to give me some examples. What he means by big.
Yeah. Probably over 200 pounds for most people would be big.
I prefer petting Haas anvils. That's what I'm forging on right now. Next to that, Reffling Haas. If you can't go with those for an American-made anvil, your best bet is Holland anvil. I like those really, really well. Lots of different options. It just makes a really good, clean, quality product that's American-made. I am into the double horn pattern, so whatever one you can get in that. I will say I'm not a big fan of side shelves. I have not used them a ton. They generally are not on the right side for me. They usually are pointing back into me, which I don't like. I like the shelf. I like my hardy hole to be to my left, or my left hand or my tong hand, and then everything else to be to my right hand, and they're usually not oriented that way. Usually they're oriented where the shelf, if you spin the shelf around to where it's out where it's supposed to be, then the hardy hole's on the same side as my hammer hand. But that is a preference. That's nothing against a vise in particular, an anvil in particular. It's just a personal preference. And I've been at this long enough, I can have personal preferences like that. Oh, not that I'm snobbish about anything. You get the vise, you get the anvil or vise or power hammer or hand hammer that you like. Do whatever you like to do. But as for myself, that's what I personally enjoy. Now, I don't have any Holland anvils in my shop that I use on the regular. I'm going to have to talk to Greg and Hobie about getting a nice big old 1,000-pounder in here. That's what I got to do. Then I might have one in here. That's also a preference, by the way. You don't have to have an insanely huge anvil to forge on. I do, however. I love insanely huge anvils. I'm a big guy. I don't need a baby anvil to satisfy my qualms. If I'm a mobile person, if I'm going to have to drag it out of the shop or the garage just to even work on it, you don't want Olga. 465 pounds. You don't want to take and slide that out. The stand itself is 375 pounds. So, no, she ain't going nowhere. She's staying put right where she's at, right?
We've only had to move it once, and that was when we put in gravel.
Yeah,
since we've moved here.
We've moved it once to get it here and moved it once out of the way to put gravel down. And here she's sat ever since in the 2 years we've been here, 2+ years, almost 3 now that we've been here. And so that's kind of my thoughts, like if you're going to be mobile, get a smaller anvil, sub 200 pounds that you can wheel around and move out in the driveway. If you're going for a main shop anvil, big stuff, again, I'm just into really big anvils. So Holland anvil, they had was it a 1,000-pounder?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was a 1,000-pound anvil at Quad State last year, if memory serves me correct. And that thing was a beaut. It was big. It was heavy. I was like, yes, I won't even need a stand for it. I'd have to put like a 4-inch stand underneath it for it to sit in here as high as Olga does. I'm like, yeah, I could do that.
Thomas?
One case I will say about a bigger anvil is I can set stuff on my anvil and still have space to work. So it kind of takes the place of a catch-all table as well. So that is very handy in my opinion. Downsides to a big anvil, reach, right? That's why I like the tapered horns, the square tapered horn on the back. It solves that issue, at least for me, in the way I work and my hammer work.
Thomas says if you zoom out the second cam, they can see the his bison stand that you guys found at the scrapyard.
I don't think it will.
Don't think it'll zoom out that wide?
No, it's pointed too far down.
Gotcha.
To actually catch that in the background. You'll have to take his word on it. All right, get this straightened up. Pretty close on that one. This one looks a little shorter just because it's already starting to curve, but not bad. Could be worse, could be better. Way to think about it. Planish surface clean. Same with this one. This right here, if you want to get good at blacksmithing, choose projects like this where you got to make 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 25 of something, complex forgings like this, which this is really tame. This isn't very complex at all. But complexer forgings like this where you've got to make a whole bunch and they all got to look the same. That'll really help you in your skills as a blacksmith. Because after I get that one done, you all won't even see the rest of them. But I've got 3 more to do. That's a lot. That's 9, right? 3, 6, still 12. Yeah, that's 12 more little scrolls I've got to do. What we got, Jess?
Let's see here. Zachary says, cool piece.
Thank you.
Tim O'Connor says, you have the rest of the Acme anvils for secret projects.
I probably do. But I'm never going to tell.
Question from Nick Frost. How thin of flat stock can you start with and still end up with a good, stable cooking trammel?
1/4 inch is about your limit. Maybe 3/16. I say 1/4 inch because it's more easily found. 1/4 inch flat stock is easier found than 3/16. 3/16 is not a common size, and so therefore you're going to pay a lot more for not a whole lot of value, if you will. So that's where I would say probably your 1/4 inch material. 1/8 is just too small and thin and flimsy. I wouldn't do that unless it's like a final product after forging. You see that all right?
Yeah. Thomas says, looking purty.
Looking purty.
Sculpty Work says, yay, the video is still going. Just got home, thought I missed it.
Yay, nope, you didn't miss it. You said what time were we at, Jess?
7:26 now.
7:26, all right, we're definitely running over. That's okay, we still got some good stuff to give away. We got a guillotine tool to give away that we sell over our website, blacksmithingblanks.com. Where at?
Blacksmithingblanks.com. Tim O'Connor's like, I like how you have a little screen you can pop up with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Try to get this finished up here so I can stop yarning on about it. Then we'll do our giveaway, huh? And we also still have to give away another gas forge.
We do.
Yep.
Sure do.
We still have that to give away yet, so just in time. To my best effort, I try to keep things to 2 hours. It doesn't ever work that way. So sometimes I'm lucky and I don't have anything enough for me to keep a 2-hour stream going.
Rob Huff says he needs to write us a little jingle for the site, like the commercials from the old days.
He needs to write us a what?
A little jingle.
A little jingle?
Yeah,
he does. I would love that, Rob. Although, I have a feeling it'll be heavy metal. Maybe it might give the wrong impression. You're like, I thought this was a Christian site. Get me in all sorts of trouble. And now that I'm talking about it, do it. That sounds great.
Do it.
I like being in trouble. I'm good at it. It is my natural state of being. It's just being in trouble.
Kirk says, is there such a thing as anvil envy?
Oh, yes, there is. Plenty of people have got it. I get it. You get it. We all get it. Like mono.
That's random. Josh Redmond, it is probably about 8 degrees Fahrenheit here right now.
It's a balmy 8 degrees. Not bad, not hateful. Could be worse. Could be better.
Robert Whitney, sure. We've got time for a quick comment about our Jeep.
A what?
A quick comment about our Jeep.
Is he making the comment or am I?
He is.
Okay. Make the comment.
Chris Sagart says your anvil is so quiet. Does it have chains wrapped around it?
Nope. Chains in general don't work the best. Not that I've found for quieting an anvil. And no, contrary to popular belief, it doesn't add mass to an anvil either. You can't add mass when it's something wrapped around. It's like, oh, the earth adds mass to me. It doesn't. So there you go. There's a, you see that there?
Nice,
Secondary
I like
cam?
that. Yeah, that looks
Like that?
good. Uh-huh.
There you have it. 1 bracket down, 3 more to go. And it's snowing on me.
It is snowing.
All right, so I set that off the side. So my anvil is quiet because I have it on a base that has sand in the legs. So the legs are backfilled with sand, and so it kills the reverberations in the anvil. Also, when I actually mounted, another way of doing it, I didn't do it with this one, but another way of quieting an anvil down a lot, like I did with the little 66-pound Achayo anvil that was ringing like a bell, I went ahead and squirted silicone underneath it as part of its mounting to fix it to the actual wood stump, and that quiets it right down as well. Some anvils, that doesn't help. If your anvil's free floating, it is capable of resonating. It can resonate like a bell. If you grab a bell, like an actual bell, and you grab it by its string and you give it a tap, it'll bing, and it'll resonate. It'll be able to send out those sound percussions through the vibrations. You pick those up as sound, boom, right? Science. If you take that same bell and you grab a hold of it in your hand and give it a whack, it sounds like nothing. Similar with your anvil. The tighter you can hold that anvil down to stop it from resonating, the quieter it will be. So adding silicone, that dampens that resonation. Putting it on a base that has some sand in the legs. This is a tri-legged base. Somewhere on the channel I've got a video of me building the base for this, for Olga, so you can go check that out. That, when I whack it, that jumps and it stops that resonation from starting. A lot of anvils, like Thomas's anvil that's sitting over here off to my left, the 132-pound Achayo anvil. If you whack on that, it's not tied down to anything. It's sitting on a rubber mat, which helps a little bit, but it's not tied down to anything. So it rings really loud until I put a magnet underneath the tailstock on it, and just that magnet is stopping those fluctuations in that resonant sound. So you just have to work with whichever anvil you're working with. Mine, I just particularly got lucky because it resonates through the feet of the anvil on the Pettinghaus anvils anyhow. That's where the resonation would carry from. So just by having it set on a base, that dampens that. it's killed the ring. So short, that's a very abbreviated discussion about anvil ring. So there you go. What's up?
Oh yes. Wayne Morey says there's some great heavy metal Christian groups.
Oh yeah. I bet there is. I listen to everything. I'm not offended by much of anything. So all right. Is that it? So any questions?
Last one.
Good to go?
Nicholas says, I think chains work better for smaller anvils. The bigger anvils just have more mass to resonate and will require more chain to do the same job.
Yeah, possibly. And again, it's like the magnet trick. If the anvil's resonating through the base of the anvil, a chain could help. What will help even more is tying that anvil down solidly, removing all movement out of it. Or putting it on something like a wooden stump and really cranking it down tight to it. That will help kill anvil ring. It'll just deaden it out because it can't resonate. Adding chains, though, I will say this, guys think that you could take a 60-pound anvil and you can add 2,000 pounds of chain wrapped around it, and that's giving it mass. It does not give it any more mass. It's a mass that's wrapped around your mass, but it's not mass under hammer blows, so it's effective at nothing. It doesn't do anything for you. It's just like if you had a power hammer that has a 40-pound ram on it, just because you take and put an extra 50,000 pounds of steel laying all around the power hammer doesn't make it hit like a 2,000-pound power hammer. It doesn't. It does nothing. You can make the frame be 20,000 pounds and still have a 40-pound ram. It only has 40 pounds of mass moving through the air at a velocity in which it's doing the work. So that doesn't add anything to the hammer. It just makes a really sturdy hammer that doesn't shake or rattle or roll anywhere, which is nice. You know, heavier the hammer, probably the better when it comes to power hammers. But yeah, anvils don't get more mass by adding junk to the sides of them. That's just not how it works. What matters in an anvil is mass under hammer, is really where it's at. Consequently, talking about the achayos, I've seen this come up in forums before, comments about it in the comment section. The achayos, dead center, if you look at Olga here, and they can see that clearly, right?
Yeah.
Olga has solid mass in the center. In fact, it could be argued that about right here, this much area is solid, is its perfect center of mass on this anvil. So I'm going to get the most work energy put into the piece in return from the anvil in the center of my anvil. Now, with the achayo anvils, or that are shaped like French pig anvils, where they've got the feet on them and a cavity below that, that's not where your center of mass is. Your center of mass is going to be moved to above one of those 2 feet. You're going to get the most return of your energy that you're expending into the piece through that leg, not through the center. Just like if you were hitting on a 2x4 and you had a 2x4 sitting up on two posts and you walked right in the center, jumped up and down, what you're going to get? You get a bunch of springiness and bounciness, things like that. This happens in steel as well and in an anvil as well, but on such a microscopic scale you don't see it to the naked eye. But if you jump over closer to a post, what does it do? It don't bend it hardly at all. It's simple physics when it comes to that. So anywhere that you can get where you've got a direct line between you and your anvil, in ground, if you will. That's why a lot of the old timers, their preferred way of mounting an anvil isn't these newfangled stands with 3 legs. Because why? If I had a 100-pound anvil,
more material.
There's nothing underneath it, right? I'm isolating that mass from the ground, right? Like I'm not getting anything return. I'm getting very little return from the ground because of those 3 legs. But if I had that anvil sitting on a solid column of wood or concrete that is driven down into the ground by 8 feet or something like that, I'm going to get a lot more return out of that anvil than I would on a 3-legged design like this. It just so happens that Olga here is a large enough anvil that doesn't matter to me. There's not a big difference. I'm not going to feel the difference in the hand is what I'm saying, because the mass of Olga is large enough to offset what I'm losing by having a hollow space underneath. Does that make sense? If I put a 20,000 pound chunk of steel raised with nothing underneath it and I wail on it, I'm going to deform it with my little 1 3/4 pound hammer very little. There's going to be almost nothing. It's like a flea biting an elephant's back, right? It won't matter. Same thing with Olga versus if I had a small anvil, like a 50-pound anvil, and I put it on a 3-legged stand, that thing's going to jump and bounce and lose all sorts of kinetic energy all the way around because it doesn't have any mass underneath it supporting that. There you go.
Thomas wanted you to tap on his anvil so they could hear it.
What's that?
Thomas wanted you to tap on his so they could hear it.
Okay, I'll go over to, you guys won't be able to see me over here, but. All right, can they hear me okay, I think, hopefully?
Should be able to, yeah.
So this is his anvil.
Might be able to.
No, it's all right, just leave it. I don't want to lose
Okay.
our connection. So that's what it sounds like sitting on a rubber mat. Not a whole lot underneath it. It's on a little portable stand with a magnet on. Take that magnet off.
You need a lot more. Yep. Magnet off. Magnet on.
So there you have it.
Gippers.
So just a simple magnet put up underneath the tail is enough because that particular resonance on that anvil is shaking out at the ends, and that's where it's putting off the bell sound. So just by touching it is enough to put calm and quiet that anvil. I had a mouse hole anvil, 300-pound mouse hole anvil that I had, and the horn resonated. It was just the one horn. I had a tail. It was like a standard London pattern type anvil. In the round horn was where all of the resonation was coming from. I tried siliconing it down to a blah. I tried bolting it as tight as I could, chains around it. Did everything I could, and the thing still rang like a bell. And then through that process, I was busy working with it, and I just set my hand on the horn, on the tip of the horn, and it shut up like instantly. And it was quiet. So I made myself a little rubber boot that'd slip on the horn when I didn't need to use the horn, and that quieted the anvil right down to where it was as quiet as Olga. So, it works differently. You just have to work with what you got.
Work with what you got.
All right, babe. Are we ready to give the last of this stuff away?
I think so. It looks like we have about 143 people sticking with us.
Woohoo!
144, so.
That's a lot of people, huh?
Yeah.
Since I'm not swinging a hammer, I'm going to put my coat back on.
Yeah. It's getting chillier.
Because I am starting to cool down just running my mouth. All that hot air coming out, you know.
Joshua Rivas, glad you are enjoying the streams.
Glad to have you here and glad you're enjoying it. Thank you to all the Super Chat donators this evening. We couldn't do this without you. Thank you to all the channel members. Thank you to you brand new channel members. Make sure you use your discount codes. Jessica, how do they find those discount codes every month?
What you do to get to your discount codes is you go to the YouTube app and you go to our channel, Christ-Centered Ironworks, and then up at the top they have some different sections. One's going to be like your videos, one's going to be community, and then there's going to be one that says members. And so if you go to the members section, that'll show you all of the members features that we have.
Yep. So that'll be good. Again, you can use those memberships over at our website, blacksmithpdfs.com or blacksmithingblanks.com, to take and get your percentage off on any of the tools we offer and any of the blanks or anything like that. So be sure to do that. take advantage of that. Any digital download as well. Again, you get to get all of that, sweet money taken off of those things as our thank you for your monthly contribution. So be sure to take advantage of that. We will have more guillotine tools available once I get more plate in, once I get more stuff cut up to be able to do so and packaged up. Right now, me and Thomas the other day, we worked on getting out a total of 16, I think it was 16, 17 of these, and we've already sold several before the stream even started. So, so we got what was left there. So we could give one away. I can make one for the video, and the rest were up and available for the website. So please be sure to go check those out. So we're going to go ahead and give one away now. Sound good?
Uh-huh.
Perfect segue. Not really. I suck at segues. Are we at the main camera or the secondary camera? Go to the secondary camera real quick.
Go to the secondary cam.
So
there we go.
I'm going to try to zoom this out just a fuzz more. Oh, you can kind of see Thomas's thing way back there. Again, it's still pointed down too far, but that's okay. So as you can see, this is the guillotine tool that it ends up making. Right here, you get a nice die that you can make up yourself. You can end up cutting this at about 1/3 up from the bottom, 2/3 on top. You can cut this and grind it into whatever shape that you would like. And this is what this kit ends up making. You get all pieces necessary to make the kit. The only thing you don't have is the welder in your time to put it together. So that's the only thing that doesn't come with it. And it all folds nicely here and comes in a flat rate box. So pretty cool, huh? So we're going to go ahead and give one of these kits away to one lucky viewer. All you got to do is say guillotine or have guillotine in your wording.
That's right. And if your comment is being blocked, because I'm noticing a bunch of them are, I can still see them on my end, so don't worry.
Yes, Jessica can still see them on your end. YouTube has a chat filter that if you're going too fast, they end up putting you they just block your comments if it goes too fast.
Yeah, I think it's just because of the word guillotine, actually.
Yeah, and guillotine, and they got all sorts of weird stuff.
Put a space somewhere in the word.
Yeah, put a space in it. Try to get around their thing. Spell it differently.
Yeah, spell it.
Guillotine or something like that.
Yeah.
Who knows? All right, we ready?
Yes, we are.
Let's draw for it.
All right.
We're going to draw some random winner out of the comment section. Who do we have, Jess?
David Payne with Guillotine.
David Payne, right?
Yep, correct.
Congratulations, David Payne. You are the first winner of a guillotine tool kit from us here. Made by yours truly. Oh. And again, this design, I'll mention it again. I mentioned it earlier. This design was originally designed up. The files were drawn up by Uncle Buck's Forge, and he ended up giving us those files so we could exclusively make these tools in his stead since he retired from doing so. So we'll be releasing more and more of those designs as we get them figured out and get them cut, just so you know, and give proper accreditation where accreditation's due. So, and by the way, he's a smart man, Uncle Buck's Forge is, because he actually figured out, are we at the main cam?
Yes, we are.
He actually figured out how to make this fit in like a little flat rate box. So it's like everything,
Smart
the
shipping.
way it nests perfectly to fit in a small flat rate box, which is, that's
Primo.
genius. That's
Yep.
genius right there. So thank you, Uncle Buck's Forge, for that. Thank you for winning. And who won it again?
David Payne.
David Payne, congratulations on the guillotine. Comment right now in the comment section if you'd like us to do more guillotine giveaways in our lives. If you want us to, and we sell enough of them, and we're doing our stuff right, and you guys are interested enough, I'll keep cutting them, and I'll keep adding some in our giveaway lives if there's enough interest. They're fairly costly.
Oh, yeah. Walt Parkhurst says he won a guillotine tool from here 2 years ago.
Woohoo!
That's right. We did do a lot with Uncle Buck when he was in the peak of his tool sales.
Yep, we did a lot with Uncle Buck then. He's a big supporter of the channel, always has been. So can't say enough nice things about Uncle Buck Forge. All right, so that's gone, huh?
Yeah, they say yes more, please. Yes more guillotines. Most definitely. Sounds awesome. do more guillotine tools. Yeah.
Good. Sounds like everybody's into them, eh?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. Now,
Dun, da, da, da.
let's go ahead and give away 2 other little things. We're going to give away our next 120 degree tool. This is for our 12-inch 120 degree tool. We don't have to go anvil cam on this one. I think everybody can see it against me.
Okay, yeah. It's big enough.
Everybody can see this. So this is the much larger 120 degree tool. We're going to go ahead and give this one away now. We'll go ahead and rattle off. We'll rattle this and just say, big 120 degree tool or something to that effect.
All right.
Should I give them a minute or are they good?
Yeah, we got them rolling in.
Okay. Who do we have, Jess?
We have Tim O'Connor with large 120 degree tool.
Woohoo!
I love my small one.
Tim O'Connor, congratulations, brother. You are the winner of this large 120 degree tool.
Tim.
Get with us through the contact email in the description. We'll get it shipped out to you, brother. Oh, with that, I'm going to take a break for just a second, Jess. I'll be right back.
Okay, brief moment. I guess I will entertain you guys for a few minutes. Thank you for joining us this evening. We still have some giveaways. We will be giving away some of our animal hooks still this evening, in addition to the Mr. Volcano Forge, and some stickers provided to us from Dana Maggiore. The Mr. Volcano Forge, I know there's been some questions about that, about being out of stock. They messaged us recently, and they have set aside the forges that we need for the giveaway this year, so we will still have access to give away the one that's being given away this month. And they're rearranging their shop, and so they will be getting back to production soon. So if you are waiting for a Mr. Volcano Forge, just keep checking back a couple times a week, and they will have them posted as soon as they can. Yes.
Am I back? Can they hear me?
Matthew. Let's see. Talk?
Huh?
Yes.
They can
Okay.
hear me.
I say
Good.
talk. Yes. Matthew, I do have a poem picked out for this evening.
Cool. Yeah, she's going to get to that here in a second. That's how we're going to close it down, huh?
Yes. Yes,
With a
it
nice
is.
poem. So, all right. So the next thing we're going to give away is going to be, or the last item before the gas forge, obviously that we're going to give away, is going to be a hook pack. Again, this animal menagerie
The zoo.
pack here. You want to go to camera 2?
I did.
Okay. We've got a bear hook that's in it, a deer hook that's in it, a moose hook that's in it, and an elk hook that's in it. So we're going to be giving all of those away. All to one lucky individual. Right? We can go back to the main cam.
All right.
So, and yeah, basically your comments just have to contain something with hook in it. Huh.
That's right.
And I wouldn't add an ER because it'll probably block it. So something
No.
that's PG, that's hook. Well, G.
Gee, there
Yeah,
we go.
PG doesn't mean what it used to nowadays. So G-rated hook. Okay.
Take out your parents. Parental guidance.
All right. Yeah, the standards for parental guidance has really slipped these days. All right, we ready? Mm-hmm. Are they commenting?
They are.
Hook comments?
They are. Animal comments.
All right, let's do it. Who do we need? Who do we got?
Scott Mills with Animal Hook Me.
Scott Mills, congratulations, you animal, you. You got some hooks. So get with us through the contact email down in the description, and we will get those shipped out to you.
David
Man,
Payne.
hey, hon, I'm almost getting good at this, you know?
Oh, yeah. David Payne, thank you for the $20 super chat.
Thank you, David Payne. Greatly appreciate that.
Scott Mills had sent a super chat before the stream started. Where'd it go? It jumped away. Not before it started, before the giveaway started.
Uh-oh.
I'm trying
Well,
to
thank
scroll down
you,
to
Scott
it.
Mills, you said?
Yes, he said, love the streams and videos, always watched the work and never looked at the barn. Finally noticed the mortise and tenon barn and now I want that.
It is a very cool old barn. Oh. I'm proud and blessed and just thankful to have such a shop. I really am. So, you know, she's a drafty old girl, but We're working on her. I'm going to keep the boards the way they are, though. I like the older.
Yeah.
I like the older boards, the older wood, the rough sawn. I'm going to put newer rough sawn siding on the outside, but I'm trying to keep that nice old barn effect.
This is what it looks like with the new lumber, and it's just not as nice.
Yeah, I had to patch a hole in there because the farmer decided that they needed to be able to park a hay bine in here, and so they just like, oh, well, instead of going through the big doors that are perfectly functioning and opening, I'll just cut a hole in the side of it. So I actually ended up having to reframe all that in and put boards back. So otherwise that would be rough barn siding too, wouldn't it?
That's right. Rob Huff, thank you for the $5
Who was it?
Rob Huff. $5 tips for poetry with Jess.
Rob, thank you. Maybe Jessica should say thank you, huh?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Oh. All right, so let's give away another sticker bundle, huh?
All right.
Let's do about 2 or 3 more of these,
Stickers.
okay? All right, let's go to the camera number 2s.
Camera 2.
Can they see that all right?
Yes, we can.
So we've got the Year of the Forge sticker, and then the Christ-centered Ironworks Blacksmith F word sticker that you can put on your box of borax, if you will. So we go back to the main cam, Jess. So we're going to go ahead and give 3 of these away. Again, thank you, Dana, for supplying us with these. That was great and awesome of you. So, ready?
Yes, ready.
Set. Go.
Dun, da, da, da. Stickers.
Who do we have?
We have Eric with more stickers? Question mark.
Eric, more stickers indeed. Get with us. Contact email. Description. Do it now. All right, ready?
Yes.
All right, we're going to go ahead and draw another name. Who do we have?
We have Michael Rowland with stickers, please.
Michael Rowland. You may have some stickers, and you're welcome. Thank you for being so polite. Get with us. Contact email. Description. Now. Ready?
Yes.
Now let's go for the third one. Who do we got?
We have Jeff Woodring with sticker bundle.
Jeff Woodring. Congratulations, sir. That's a name I know from a long time back that's always been on the channel. Good to have you, sir. Congratulations. Description. Email. Now. Do. You do it.
You actually have.
Go for it.
You've got like 48 hours.
Contact us. We contact you. Then send stuff. That's how it works. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for participating in that. All right. Now that they've heard about, now that we have firmly seeded them, mind-seeded them with blacksmithingblakes.com.
I just got to pop it up there one more time.
Now that we have fully seeded their memories with blacksmithingblakes.com. Now let's get on to what everybody actually cares about. And that is the Year of the Forge. We're going to give away. Now, get your fingers ready. Get them warmed up. Start them typing. We're going to be giving away a little Mr. Volcano gas forge, a little single burner gas forge. And that is open internationally. We did not say that at the beginning. All of these things are open internationally. We will ship them anywhere in the world this year. That's the...
Except for the gas forge, remember?
What's the gas forge? What's wrong with the gas forge?
Let's see, Canada, UK, and Australia. Those are the 3 additional places.
Okay, so she corrects me, but yes. In the world, that's narrowed down to 3 other countries.
It's in the world. If you're in
the
US,
world,
Canada,
the rest
UK,
of the world. Well, you
Australia.
guys don't exist. It's just Australia, Canada, and the UK.
Some of the places they won't ship it. We can't help that part.
So if you're in one of them lucky, important regions of the world, you have a chance to win too. So. But yeah, so that's the main thing we're doing different this year, which is great with those. So again, thank you to everybody who's donated during the stream. That will help out greatly with all the shipping. Can't thank you enough. And without further ado, let's draw for it. You got it up there?
Let's do it.
Is it popped up there?
I popped it up once. I'll show it again.
Are they seeing what they're going to get?
They're seeing that
potentially?
volcano. It's the volcano.
The one and only that's available right now.
That's right.
In
Get it
the
from
world.
Christ-centered Ironworks.
Christ Center Ironworks, you heard it here first. All right. So privileged, aren't we? So
We are.
blessed to be in that position. To have 12 held back for us, huh? All right, we ready?
We are.
Let's draw for it. I'm sure they're burning it up, aren't
They
they?
are. They are.
All right, let's do it. We're going to go for the extra long roll.
Extra long roll. All right, scramble it. Gotta scramble it real good. All right. Oh, extra long.
Now,
Extra tings at the end. All right. Shayla Raynerton. Raynertson?
huh?
Raynertson.
Shayla, is it, that's
Yep.
right?
Yes.
Shayla Raynerson.
Yep. Forge me, please.
You've been forged. Get with us through the contact email in the description, and we will get that shipped out to you as soon as we have your details. So that's Shayla Raynerson, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
That has won the gas forge for this month. Now, don't go away. There's going to be more gas forges the rest of this year. We're going to be giving away one a month. So be sure to join us back here again on another Friday night live stream. So this way we can give another one away. So, yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a wrap, ain't it?
That is.
For the
yeah.
most part on all the giveaway items. So thank you guys for brightening my day, picking up my spirits. You know, I enjoy doing this. Like I said, it's a bit of a selfish endeavor for me, even though it may seem I'm being altruistic and everything like that and giving stuff away. It really does actually make me feel better as a human being. So it's my own little secret sauce that I enjoy in life. So thank you for making me happy and allowing me to give stuff away. Thank you to all the channel members and all the subscribers that make the content here possible and allows us to be able to even do these things. So we couldn't do it without you, and you all are much loved, very much loved and welcome. And if any of you are new here, please be sure to subscribe and set your bell for all notifications, as we'll keep putting out more content and keep doing stuff like this for the blacksmithing community. So without further ado, I will shut up now. Thank you so much for being here. Jessica will lead us out with a little poem.
I shall.
How's that sound?
And briefly before doing the poem, let me mention a couple of super chats.
Okay, go ahead.
Christopher Conkright sent a $5 super chat and says, "What spacing for the back legs of the tripod anvil stand? I watched your video, but don't see should be under the anvil or at the end, the 100-pound anvil."
So the spacing for the anvil stand goes, it lines up right with the edge. So the actual legs line up at the corners of the square that's under the anvil. So I've got a big chunk of steel that's square under the anvil. I came to center with the middle leg, and then the other two legs are at a diagonal from that on the very corners of the stand. They're not actually under the anvil, if you will. They might have been a little bit better if they were under the anvil, but I was going for a certain pitch, and I wanted the stability left, right, and center, so this way I didn't ever tip over an anvil, right? We got a lot of mass up here. We don't want it to rock around. So I put my legs out to where it would be the most stable. So, and that there is a 12.5 degree pitch, by the way. That's what you want. That's the secret sauce. That's the secret number. No more than a 12.5 degree pitch.
Also, Robert Shell, thank you for your member chat. Says, "Thank you, Roy and Jess, and God bless."
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you for being a member.
Okay, we're caught up now.
We're all caught up?
Yes, just had
Okay.
to mention those.
Now I shall shut up, and Jessica shall lead us out with a nice
The
poem.
nice poem.
Thank you all for being here. We'll catch you next live stream.
And briefly before I go into the poem, I will mention all the winners one more time, as we previously said. Let's see, an animal hook multi-pack is going to Scott Mills. Also another one of those going to Mad Mr. Fox. 6-inch trivet tool going to Matthew Barrick. 12-inch trivet tool going to Tim O'Connor. Guillotine kit going to David Payne. Mr. Volcano Forge going to Shayla Reynertson. Sticker pack going to Charles Scantling. Stickers to 410 Forge Blacksmith. Also to Stephen Adams, Eric, Michael Rowland, and Jeff Woodring. So you can contact us as outlined in the description below. And Royce.
I'm gone.
Okay. Let's see. Here. Let me.
Will somebody take care of the
It's fine. I got it.
retard that's in here, please? Yeah, so much for being Christ-centered. Yahweh will definitely strike me down there. Fool. Sorry, a little bit of Roy gets back in here every now and then. This is why I'm not allowed on this side of the screen. So
everybody's been good till now. So anywho. Yes. Oh, there's Roy. Turn it where you can see Roy over my shoulder. All right. Oh, and one other thing before I read the poem. Leland Hawk, thank you for the $5 for the Sunnyside Shipping Fund. It's a bit of a tongue twister there. Okay. The poem I am reading tonight is called The Removal, and I got this from the Anvil Fire website. And it was written around 1846, but was provided to the Anvil Fire website from Mark Cortino. So this is called The Removal. A nervous old gentleman, tired of trade, by which though it seems he a fortune had made, took a house between two sheds at the skirt of town, which he meant at his leisure to buy and pull down. This thought struck his mind when he viewed the estate, but alas, as he entered, he found out too late. For in each dwelt a smith, a more hard-working two, never doctored a patient or put on a shoe. At 6 in the morning, their anvils at work, awoke our new squire, who raged like a Turk. These fellows, he cried, such a clattering keep, that I never can get above 4 hours' sleep. From morning till night they kept thumping away, no sound but the anvil the whole of the day. His afternoon nap and his daughter's new song were banished and spoiled by their hammers ding-dong. He offered each Vulcan to purchase his shop, but no, they were stubborn, determined to not stop. At length, both his spirits and health to improve, he cried, I'll give each 1,000 greenbacks to move. Agreed, said the pair, that will make us amends. Then come home, said the squire, and let us part friends. You shall dine, and we'll drink on this joyful occasion, that each may live long in his new habitation. He gave the two blacksmiths a sumptuous regale. He spared not provisions, his wine or his ale. So much was he pleased that with the thought that each guest would take from him the noise and restore to him rest. And now, said he, tell me, where mean you to move? I hope to some spot where your trade will improve. Why, sir, replied one with a grin on his phiz, Tom Forge moves to my shop, and I move to his. Thought that was a funny poem. Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
And please forgive my indiscretions. I get angry very easily with disparaging comments about other people. I don't like bullies. So, all right, that should be it. Troy messaged me. He said, easy there, big fella, on the back end. Thank you, Troy, for watching over my soul, sir.
Thank you, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed the poem.
Yeah, so thank you, everyone, for being here, and all are welcome back next live stream. God bless each and every last one of you. We'll catch you next time. Bye now.